Okay, well, first of all, I'm letting y'all know I'm in a car. I'm actually sleeping in the car. So I just refuse to sleep on the ground. I can't do it. I cannot let them bugs eat me alive like that. I can't do it. Now, you also remember, Lance, I told you that they were trying to get rid of me. You remember I told you that?
Yes.
And then it's another girl on YouTube. Her name is her channel is Lucid Living TV. All set. They doing the same shit to her as they doing to me. Because we're the ones that hold the fucking information. We're the real high beings that we like pillars to this shit. So when we don't go along with what they want, because they want to control us so they could use our soul energy to gain the attention of all the other energies to keep this bullshit going. No, bitch, you're not using me. I'm not going to be miserable like that. Fuck that. I will fuck you up. I'm not letting you use me. Bitch, it's going to be my motherfucking way. This is my soul. I do what the fuck I want to do with it. And my thing is that I'm about truth. I'm not going to sit there and lie when I know damn well what's going on and I done researched the shit and I'm sitting here experiencing this shit and I'm going to sit there and lie. My soul ain't going to let me do that. It's not going to let me do that. I don't even have control over my own soul. My soul controls me. I'm just a lag of the soul. This avatar don't mean shit. The soul is controlling me and talking to me at the same damn time because that's how me and him broke up because I want to tell y'all about how that happened.
Yeah.
Now, you remember, Lance, I told you, I said the motherfucker was an archon. Remember I told you this? Now, I'm going to tell you how I know the bitch was an archon. This is one of the main reasons. I never told y'all this, but I'm going to tell you now because I ain't with the bitch no more. Okay, so when I met him, I don't give a fuck about how somebody look. I don't care about that. You just can't be butt ass ugly, but I mean, he right. was 10 years older than me because I never really fuck with people my age because they can't teach me shit. I usually fuck with the old heads because they the ones you're gonna learn from. So when I looked at him, when I met him up close, and because he used to come to see me in New York. And when I told you I've never been in a relationship, I actually met him online. I never, ever been in a relationship ever. He was my first and last relationship that I've ever been in. He's the first and last. I've never, ever been in a relationship. I wanted to experience it before I left here because everybody that was around me was experiencing it, and I never got a chance to experience it because motherfuckers just didn't like me like that because I had a nasty ass attitude, and when I tell the truth, I always get into fights over the shit. So, because when I was dealing with him, when he used to come to see me in New York, I used to be like, because I met him when I was 30, and he was 40, but I'm like, it's just something about his face that just was off to me. Because when I came to stay with him, his face, it drooped like it just shouldn't look like that. I can't explain. It's like sometimes when I look at him, it's because he was Puerto Rican and Thai. But sometimes when I look at him, it's like you holding open a goddamn a fucking yogurt, like a yogurt container, and you hold this shit over and the yogurt spill out and it look like a glob hanging. Sometimes that's how his face look. And I used to just look at him and I used to look like this motherfucker look dead. Like something is just off about this motherfucker. He was real nice though, because he did everything for me. The motherfucker brought me diamonds. The motherfucker brought me all types of designer shit. I'm going to tell y'all the whole damn story about that shit, about what happened to all of that. So I'm telling you this shit about his face for a reason. So something about his face, it just was off to me. And I used to say to myself, like, why his face look like that sometimes, when I get by myself and shit. And then I started, because he knew that I was a mental person. He knew that I don't really like to have sex like that. I told him this. He was fully aware of that, because I told him before I even came to live with him, before we even got married, I had already told him that. So the deal was, he knew that, bitch, if you're going to be with me, bitch, you're going to provide for me and you're going to do every motherfucking thing, because if not, I'm not coming there, because I was fucking with white dudes when I was in New York, and they was paying bills and every motherfucking thing. So if I'm going to be with you, bitch, I'm not going to be motherfucking working. I'm not doing that. I already told him that. So my thing was that, and then you have to understand too, I've been in fucking college for 10 years. I didn't study psychology. I ain't no motherfucking dummy. I'm far from it. How the hell you think I know all the shit I know? So, getting back to his face, I'm looking at this motherfucker face, and I'm just like, something is not right about him. But this how I knew the shit started to come in alignment later. So he knew I didn't like to have sex, but this motherfucker would be, when I ain't want to have sex with him, the motherfucker would get an attitude and shit, and you could feel the tension in there when I ain't want to do the shit. So, you know, especially for females, they know that when you with a dude and this motherfucker get an attitude and shit because you don't want to have sex with him, it throws the energy off. It's less shit like walking on eggshells. So when I did it, because we used to have like sex maybe a couple of times out of a year, I did not fuck around. No, I don't play around with that shit. The sex shit, I'm not with that shit. But I did engage in it with him a couple of times out of the year. And I remember a couple of times when I had sex with him, I looked at his face. I was like, this motherfucker's face changed after I had sex with him. It's like he looked at, his face looked refreshed. It didn't hang. Like, I was like, okay, something is, how the fuck am I having sex with you and your whole goddamn face like this motherfucker had a goddamn Botox surgery, an instant Botox surgery? I was like, what the fuck? So I'm sitting out there looking at that. I was like, okay, some shit is not right about this shit because it's no fucking way. It looked like that one day, then after I had sex with you, the shit changed. This motherfucker was stealing my soul energy. I'm telling you, this is a parasite. I'm telling you. I know my shit. I'm not stupid. So when I sat there and I noticed that, then I started getting a little distant and shit because shit started getting a little supernatural. Because I'm like, you know damn well ain't no shit like that supposed to happen. And I want y'all also to know I have never had my own shit since I've been here. I'm 40 years motherfucking old in this matrix, and I ain't never had my own shit since I've been here. Not one time. I've been staying with motherfuckers the whole time. Do you think that's not a coincidence? That ain't no goddamn coincidence. That's my whole shit. My whole experience was controlled because of my energy. My whole fucking experience was controlled because all of those people that I stayed with was handlers of my energy because they know what type of spirit I am. So this motherfucker literally sat here, and after a while, you know, when the COVID shit happened, that's when, because he was doing everything for me. The motherfucker was nice as shit to me. Anything I wanted, the motherfucker would get it. But you got to understand that money ain't motherfucking real. They know that the soul energy is what's the real motherfucking currency. That's why they created money so that they could use money as a manipulation tool over the soul energy. They know that soul. They know that soul energy is the real currency. You cannot create energy. They know that. But you can create money. So that money don't mean shit. That shit is fake. It's a seagull. It means it has no worth. Your soul energy is what's running this bitch. So that's why they created money, so that they could use that to manipulate the soul energy. That's the reason why they did it. So when the COVID shit happened, that's when me and him started having problems because my soul got involved in. It's almost like my motherfucking soul put this bitch on motherfucking time out. It's like it paused the whole shit. Because when that COVID shit happened, that's when I had a spiritual awakening. My soul screamed in my motherfucking head. I lied to y'all. Now, Lance, you know I done told you this shit before. I ain't changed it yet. Mm-hmm. So it's still the same motherfucking story.
Oh, I know.
My soul screamed in my motherfucking head and said, get him out of there. So I was like, I'd never, ever experienced that shit before. I was like, what the fuck? I ain't never, ever experienced that shit before. So that shit spooked me the fuck out. So I'm like, okay, something. Oh, and then I started thinking about, about how his face was and shit. And I was like, okay, so this motherfucker, something is up with this motherfucker. So when I had, because remember I told you I studied, martial arts, and I took up ninjutsu. So I had I had motherfucking katana swords in that bitch. I had motherfucking sais, metal steel fans in that bitch, kunais. I still got my kunai ninja stars in that bitch throwing knives. I ain't no motherfucking joke. So this motherfucker, I grabbed my side and I tapped him on his arm with it and I told him, leave. Just leave. Just leave. Give me my piece. Just leave. And the motherfucker screamed at me and he was like, I'm not going nowhere. And I'm like, just go. Because I would hate to have to beat the shit out of you in here. Just leave. So he finally left and we separated for about a good year. I was staying in the place while he was gone. The motherfucker lied on me and went to his job and told the people that I broke his motherfucking arm when I only tapped him with the side. Now, you know, if I broke your motherfucking arm, bitch, you know you wouldn't even have been able to go to work, bitch. Your shit would have been hanging. So he lied. I was like, this motherfucker don't do nothing but lie. And he also was lying to me during our relationship, and I found out that later. So all of this shit started to make sense. And then when my soul screamed in my head, after that, that's when I started studying all of the fucking spiritual knowledge, the emerald green tablets. I started reading the whole damn Tanakh. I used to get highlighters and fucking mop the whole book up. Then I was literally, I'm talking about, I still got all my videos. I was writing books on this shit and everything. And I was making him purchase the books that I needed to study. So when I put all that shit together, but see, the reason why my soul had to do that is because if he was still around, I would have never found that out because he was trying to keep me asleep and distracted. That was his whole goal because they want you to be stupid in this shit. So that's why my soul did what it did to get rid of him because it knows he's not no good. The soul sits on another dimension. So the soul knows what's going on. They talk like the soul is stupid. No, bitch, the soul is highly evolved and highly intelligent. It's way more intelligent than your avatar could ever dream to be. Your avatar ain't shit compared to the soul. Kudos to my soul that I love so much for what it done because it's liberating me up out of this hellhole. So after that happened, after he left and I started studying all the knowledge, when he came back, he put me out. And he made me leave to go to California, and I had to stay in a fucking hotel for a whole goddamn month. Then the motherfucker gonna bring me back there, and now mind you, I still had all my stuff at his house. All of my shit was still there. So I was saying to myself, oh, I'm coming back to get, because I'm not gonna let nobody get the shit I had, because that's my shit. I picked that out, and a lot of that shit I had way before I even met him. That I was dealing with other dudes that they bought. No, bitch, I'm going to get rid of that shit, my goddamn stuff. You won't get that to no motherfucking body. I'm going to get rid of it. So I had to go back there to get rid of my shit. But when I came back here, I was still studying a lot of the spiritual shit. Because I won't going to let that go after I had that awake. You cannot, when the soul come at you like that, you cannot ignore that shit. You can't. There's no way you can ignore that because you ain't never had no experience like that before. There's no way. So when I came back, he was cool with me for a couple of months, but I'm going to tell you what he told me. He was like, well, ain't you going to go and get a job? He knows. I'm going to tell you what he told me. He's saying, yeah, well, somebody else been, because it wasn't a lot of energy that was pulled from you because something else is running your experience. Yeah, bitch, my soul. The motherfucker that you thought you were going to get over on, motherfucker, but you don't understand. You are a old, outdated spirit, bitch, and I'm new. That means my coding is over yours, motherfucker. You can't mind manipulate me, bitch. You can't MK Ultra me, motherfucker. That's not going to work on me, bitch. So he tried to get me to work in the system to burn out my soul energy to keep powering this shit. He thought that shit was going to really work on me. So then he threatened me, and he's like, well, if you don't, I can't, I let you come back here because I was trying to help you. Bitch, you won't try to motherfucking help me, y'all. Bitch, as evil as your punk ass is, you won't trying to help me, y'all motherfucker, after you lied on me and went and told him that I broke your punk ass arm. And you know, if I wanted to fuck you up, bitch, I would have tore your ass up. You wouldn't even have had no head. So he went and saying all that shit. I'm just looking at this motherfucker like this motherfucker is really trying to run game on me. So when he realized that he can't run no game on me, the only thing he can do is, all right, I can't do shit with the bitch. I got to put the bitch out. He didn't want to do the shit, but every day I used to bug his ass because I used to be like, How can you sit here and this motherfucker knew all about the celebrity shit, all the shit that's happening to them? I'm like, this motherfucker know way too much about this shit just to be a normal motherfucker. And you know what they say about the royals. You remember how I kept telling you that I was a royal spirit? You remember I was telling you that?
Right.
What are the royals known for? The royals are usually known for knowing every motherfucking thing. They usually know all the goddamn knowledge. Am I lying?
Mm-hmm. And hide it too.
So, right. So, like I said, I know what the fuck I am, and he know too. So, he put me the fuck out. I stayed there for a couple of months, but when he evicted me, and remember I told you about the cops coming there many times before he evicted me because I was pissed off with him because he was still lying to me. So, my eviction date was October the 11th. So, I had to leave October the 11th. And I've been out here on the street since October the 11th. And because I'm in Florida, but because I'm not familiar with this area, because I don't know Florida like that, so I'm only staying in the area that I'm familiar with. This motherfucker is right across the street from where I'm at. Do you know I ain't been over there not one time? And I'm right across the street where the bitch at. I ain't been over there not one time. So what does that tell you about my spirit? Does it look like my motherfucking spirit play?
Nope, you don't play at all.
Anybody else, they would have been coming there begging him, bitch, I'm not kissing your motherfucking ass, nigga. Fuck that. So, and I'm right across the street from the motherfucker. If I wanted to go over there and see him and beg him, I'm not begging you for shit, bitch. I don't need you, bitch. You wanted my soul energy, motherfucker, not the other way around. You can't give me shit, cause bitch, you already dead. And your face proved that. So, my thing is that, and I'm going to tell y'all about this homeless system. This shit this whole shit is rigged. Which I already knew, the whole shit is rigged. So, the homeless system works like this. If you a police drop off, and because the police been called on me numerous times, I done cuss people out in every motherfucking thing. I done had a dude come to me while I was sitting at a place. This motherfucker can't. I'm telling you, these spirits are dead as shit, and they ain't nothing. This whole shit is filled with motherfucking viruses and demons. I'm telling you, the whole shit. I don't give a fuck where you at. I don't give a fuck what continent you at. The whole shit is festered with demons and low vibrating entities. The shit is everywhere. A motherfucking man came up to me, and he was standing over me for like fucking 5 minutes. And I'm like, and I ain't saying that I would calm and shit, come motherfucker, boy, I will break your motherfucking ass out. Yeah, I might be little, motherfucker, but you know what they say, bitch, my spirit ain't little. I will tear your ass to shreds. So I let him stand over there, and I waited for, until he got ready to say something. And then he didn't have the courage to ask me. The motherfucker gonna type this shit in the phone and gonna put, what are you willing to do for money? And I was looking at, I was like, what the fuck do you mean what I'm willing to do for money? So he typed in the phone, well, are you willing to have sex with me? Hell motherfucking no. Hell no. Bitch, I will starve. Bitch, I'm not motherfucking having sex with you for no motherfucking money. Bitch, the fuck I look like to you? Bitch, if I needed that bad, I will go and steal it. I'm not motherfucking fucking you for no money. It's not gonna happen. I don't even like that shit. So I'm just telling y'all, I'm keeping that shit all the way funky with you. So I've been experiencing that shit while I was out here. That's why I be going to sit in front of the businesses, because I don't want to have to kill a motherfucker. I really don't want, because then that shit gonna weigh my spirit down. And I'm already trying to leave here, and because I don't have no attachments here, because I cut all of that shit off, I'm in a good position to leave, if that makes sense. So
it does.
The homeless shit it works like this. They want, if you a smart motherfucker and you got college background, you're intelligent, you got all these skills, because I got a whole bunch of motherfucking skills. I could do makeup, I could do motherfucking nails. I've been a studying psychologist. I got computer skills. It ain't really much shit that I can't do, and I'm a writer too, on top of that. So it's not like, it ain't, the sky's the limit for me with all them goddamn skills. But they not gonna help you do shit, because the homeless shit is catered for people who are drug addicts. They got to be a drunk, or you got to have fucking mental. You got to have fucking mental instability, or you got to be cognitive dissonant, or you just mentally unstable and your ass belong in a motherfucking mental asylum instead of a fucking shelter. They will help them before they help my type. And the police told me that shit numerous times. They told me up front, they told me that shit. I was like, I said, but the taxpayers pay fucking taxes so that when they pay taxes, their taxes, the tax money is supposed to go for public services. Helping the homeless is a public service. Honey, that money ain't going to the motherfucking public services. They pocketing that shit. They pocketing that shit. Because if it was going for the homeless service, I ain't been helped since I've been out here yet. If it won't for, and I'm going to tell y'all need to stop all of that shit about the blacks versus the whites. Stop doing that shit. That shit is a tool of division. Because at the end of all of this shit, y'all motherfuckers are all going to have to come together against these motherfuckers. Because if y'all don't bridge that gap, y'all ass are doomed. Because I'm going to get into that too. Because I have been aided by a lot of the whites. Since some of the blacks have helped me out. I ain't going to sit there and say none of them helped me out since I've been out here. But not as much as the whites. And it ain't been many of them. It's just been a couple of memorable ones. I got a guy who, the shit he doing, giving me, a couple of $100. I go to a hotel, that shit gone. So that's gone in a day. So I can't, and then you got to think about the food. The shit, everything is done went through fucking inflation. You go to motherfucking Wendy's, and you get a goddamn hamburger and a fucking medium fry and a goddamn Frosty. That shit almost $10. I was like, you got to be fucking crazy. Really? And I remember when they used to
worse. It's going to get worse.
And I was like, do you know that they set up here the fucking Frosty that I had bought? I brought a small Frosty. I looked at that shit. I said, this ain't the small Frosty that I usually get. This shit half the size of that. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, boy, the way this shit going, if they don't do something about this shit, because when I leave here and when a couple of the other real ones leave here, y'all asses is doomed. I'm telling you. Because this shit, they are motherfucking. What's that lady name that, because I listen to her on your channel. What's her name? Lady 7. Her ass is telling the truth. She telling the truth about that shit. When she said about the power is in the truth, she's not like. Why do you think they shut me the fuck up? They basically made me homeless because they like, bitch, we sick of your motherfucking mouth. You are not gonna ruin this shit for us, so we got to get rid of your motherfucking ass. But the thing of it is, this the thing though. You trying to get rid of me. You want to make me homeless, but these motherfuckers, I'm talking about Lance, they more spiritually attacking me now than they was when I was motherfucking in the house. Do you know these motherfuckers? I can't even motherfucking meditate in peace. And I'm gonna tell you how the spiritual attacks be. Now you know when you meditate, I sit in the lotus position, right? And I'll have my hands on my knees, and I'll have my pointer finger and my middle finger stretched out, and I'll put my ring finger and the pinky, and I'll put my thumb over those two, and have my the pointer finger and the middle finger stretched out on both knees. I can see my hand be moving and shit off of my fucking knees. I'd be like, and you know I'm not doing that shit. They're doing it. So that's what I mean about the spiritual attacks. And then my goddamn, so that it's like trying to disturb my meditation. They be pushing my hand and shit off of my knee position. That's why I purposely described it the way I described it, so you could see this, so you could picture in your mind exactly what they doing. Because you know damn well I'm not doing that if I'm purposely positioning it like that. And my damn hand is moving and shit. I be like, these motherfuckers are crazy. And I tune this shit out. And then on my side, you could feel like because they really attack me on my side, on my left side. It's like a vibration. And that shit, sometimes it makes like an ache feeling. But I know it's not real because during other times when they're not attacking me, they usually do it when I'm real still and when I'm silent. When I'm moving, they don't do this shit. But when I sit still, that's when they do it, because they try to disturb the spirit. Because remember, I told you the spirit is supposed to be calm. That's where it comes from. It comes from a holy place. So their job is to be unholy, which is to disturb the spirit, which is why when you cur your ass to sleep, the spirit is in peace, it's in bliss, but not when you come back to this shit. The minute your motherfucking energy attaches back to this dead-ass avatar, the bullshit starts. Now, I'm telling you what I know. I done studied this shit like a motherfucker, and I'm going to tell you, since I've been out here, you could literally sit up here. I was going over here by the goddamn airport warehouse that they built. I'm sitting here because I usually go over there to meditate because it's a nice open area over there, and I got my yoga mat and everything. And I'll go over there and meditate. It could be motherfucking 7 or 8 o'clock at night. These motherfuckers will come in a motherfucking parking lot. Lance, I lie to you not. These motherfuckers be 40 and 55 years old, and these motherfuckers be sitting in the middle of a fucking car lot, racing a motherfucking remote control car. Bitch, you're a grown man. What the fuck is wrong with you? You gonna tell me that's not a dead soul?
Straight up.
That bitch ain't got nothing to do. That bitch ain't got nothing. I ain't even never done no shit like that. And I'm way half their age, probably. These motherfuckers be grown niggas and playing with motherfucking racing cars in the fucking middle of a parking lot. Who the fuck does that? I'm just like, these motherfuckers are completely dead. And then I've been noticing that when I sit somewhere real quiet, it's always a motherfucker to walk up where I'm at, or they'll drive up where I'm at just because I'm quiet.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
I just be like, this shit, it's and the areas that I be going in, it's just no way that you doing that shit unless they're being controlled. So in other words, basically, most of these motherfuckers ain't nothing but bots. That's the point that I was trying to make.
You're so right, though. You're so right, because
a real consciousness is not gonna do no shit like that.
Right, they got something to do with their own.
Right, because I don't even do shit like that. Shit, to be honest, to tell you the truth, you remember I told you, where I stayed at, you wouldn't even know I was motherfucking a locker. You ain't never see me. Only time you see me is when I came from shopping and came back. And let me tell y'all what happened to to all of my shit. I sold my jewelry. I ended up selling my jewelry. I had to. For the first couple of months, it got me by. But since inflation, every motherfucking thing went up. It ain't gonna last long. So I sold my jewelry, my clothes, and my makeup, and all my perfume and shit. I stored some. I put some of the shit that I was gonna need in an empty, vacant house that was vacant. Do you know the motherfucking people, some homeless people came in there and stole that shit from me, stole the bikes I had in that bitch, stole the air pump, stole my clothes. They went through all my goddamn books. They fucking ransacked everything, and shit was all over the place. I said, damn, you can't, the homeless is stealing from the fucking homeless. This shit is crazy. I couldn't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this shit is really real. This shit is real bad. The damn homeless is stealing from the fucking homeless. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to steal from nobody because I want my own shit. If I'm going to steal, I want my shit new. I don't want no shit used. I'm going to the motherfucking store and I'm taking it. And that's how I was getting by, too. Because I would go, do you know they called the cops on me numerous times because I went in the damn gas station and I had took some chips. They called the cops on me for some damn chips and the damn juice. I'm like, bitch, it's a fucking snack, bitch. I'm homeless. What the fuck? But do you see what I'm saying about how fucked up the energy is here? It's supposed to be the reverse. You shouldn't be sitting out there calling no motherfucking cops on nobody for stealing no goddamn snack, bitch. If they didn't have to steal it, bitch, they wouldn't be doing it. And then it was a lady, because I used to go to the Family Dollar over here, and I would go in there and take snacks out of there. But I will only take the snacks. I wouldn't take nothing else. I would just take the snacks because I needed to eat something to keep from getting to get those low ass vibrations, which equal that headache. So I was going in there and I was doing that. And she ended up approaching me about this shit. And I told her, I said, well, it's many motherfucking homeless motherfuckers on the street. I said, so even if I don't do it, it's going to be the next motherfucker to do it. And sure enough, when I came in there another time, she said, it's another homeless person. I said, yeah, because until y'all motherfuckers actually deal with the motherfucking problem and get them off the motherfucking street, you're going to deal with that shit and they're going to start ransacking the businesses too. Now, I'm going to tell you, the reason how I met the Italian guy back here is because I'm real funny about my cleanliness. Even being out here, I'm real funny about that shit. Because if you, and I'm going to say, let me give y'all the key to this shit real quick. I want y'all to pay attention to this shit. This how you know this shit being ran off your soul energy. If you sit there with your avatar, I don't give a fuck how pretty your shit is, because my shit was pretty too at one point in time. It ain't pretty now, a little fucked up now. Because my face is deteriorating because you can see on the side of my face the bumps and shit because I'm not eating. So it's deteriorating. And when you just sit there with the avatar and you don't give it your soul energy, like washing it, putting lotion on it, grooming it, because that's your soul energy doing that. Mm-hmm. Just sit there with it for a couple of days and watch that bitch smell like death. That bitch, especially if you out in the sun. The sun reveals that shit because the sun, it would be holy compared to that goddamn body. And that's why the sun be making that shit stink, because the shit is not holy. The only way you can be holy is to be the light. That's it. There is no other way. When you are here in those bodies, your ass is trapped in darkness. You are in darkness. And they call it in the Emerald Green Tablets, they call it the fetters of darkness, which means chains and bonds and shackles. Your ass is a prisoner and a slave in this bitch. Because if you stay with that goddamn avatar and you don't get that shit your soul energy, that bitch will smell like a motherfucking cadaver. That shit stink like a motherfucker. And I'm saying to myself, I'm literally shit. There's no way my shit smelling like that, and I'm that goddamn small. I'm petite as a motherfucker. So if my shit smell like that in a couple of days, you could just only imagine the rest of the motherfuckers, and most motherfuckers bigger than me. I'm just like, I'm saying to myself, I'm like, and these motherfuckers want to stay in this shit. And I'm talking about you don't even have to do anything to it. Like, when I tell you, it's a difference if you running or you dancing or some shit like that, because you are actually causing perspiration by doing that. But just sitting still and you in the shade, and within a couple of days that motherfucker stink. And then if it ain't that, because the only thing that's stopping it from stinking is you using your soul energy. That's it. That's why you think they made up all of the lotions, the soap. They know that shit stink. They talk about that shit in the Bible. Mm-hmm. They tell you how nasty the body is in the Bible. They tell you that. So then it ain't even that. It's the bug shit. For some reason the mosquitoes love to fucking bite me. I can't even be out this bitch and like, it was a homeless lady that I came in contact with. This bitch was wearing a dress. I said, bitch, you got to be crazy. I literally told her, I said, bitch, are you crazy? You gonna wear a motherfucking dress with all these motherfucking insects around here? Bitch, are you stupid? And then the bitch gonna complain to me about the buzz bite. I said, yeah, bitch, you got enough fucking dress and you homeless. What the fuck do you expect?
For real.
So I'm like, because I know they be biting me, but see, this bitch drink, though. And you know why the bitch drink, because she's trying to numb her motherfucking pain from being homeless. But just like I told her, bitch, that drinking is a temporary, and you don't even know when you drinking, bitch. Do you know what they call that alcohol? They call that bitch Al Ghul. And they call it Al Ghul for a motherfucking reason, because, bitch, you turn into a ghoul when you drink that shit, because they are negative entities that your ass is drinking. You think that shit is alcohol. No, bitch, you are drinking negative spirits, motherfucker, because this is about energy. This ain't about no motherfucking alcohol. Those are negative entities you are letting into your motherfucking field of vibration. your electromagnetic field. That's why when motherfuckers drink, them motherfuckers turn into a whole motherfucker because they're fucking possessed by negative entities and don't even know it. Cause this bitch, I done been around this bitch numerous times. I was like, I said, when that bitch drink, that bitch be loud as a motherfucker, and that bitch be hooping and hollering in your face and shit. I be like, but when the bitch don't drink, she ain't like that. And I be like, this bitch don't even know this bitch is being possessed and don't even know it. Cause you can actually see the possession in her, cause you can look in their face and you can look in their eyes and tell that the soul is vacant. Cause see, you know I'm always looking at shit on the spiritual level. I'm not looking at it from no human shit, because you look at it from the human shit, you're not gonna see the spiritual shit. Then that's the real shit you need to be paying attention to, not the human shit. Anybody can fool your ass with that. You been standing this motherfucker for 40 years and you still on the human shit and you think it ain't nothing else. You better wake the fuck up, cause you gonna be lost in this bitch if you still looking at it like that, cause it is way beyond that. So I'm looking at this bitch like, this bitch is crazy as shit, and I done seen other people. I go over there to the St. Anne's place to take a shower, and this motherfucking, I'm talking about, Lance, they got motherfucking homeless people over there. Them motherfuckers be looking crazier than a motherfucker. I be saying to myself, I be like, y'all ain't ready to die? I mean, cause that's how I'm looking at it. These motherfuckers be in the line fighting over food. I be like, okay, so you gonna take a shower, you gonna fight over the motherfucking food, and the food ain't nothing but doing nothing but keeping your ass locked here longer for you to keep suffering, really. And they be fighting over that shit, and even though you get a shower and you get the food, bitch, you still gotta go back out there and be fucking homeless, so you're not fixing the problem. You still gonna be suffering. So I'm just looking at them like, what are you fighting for? So when I go over there, I'll sign in and I usually leave, and I tell them I'll be back at 11 o'clock. I can't deal with all of that homeless shit. Like, that shit irritates the fuck. Because I ain't never been in this situation. This is the first time and the last. This shit ain't happening no more. So I have to deal with that shit, and I'm looking at the people homeless, and because I'm looking on a spiritual level, I understand exactly what's happening. Their soul is dead. And remember when I told y'all, when I had read about Castaneda, when I said that by the time, when you come in this matrix, by the time you get to about 18, by the time you get grown, they done motherfucking ate up your whole goddamn electromagnetic field. They done ate your whole motherfucking field of vibration up, and now your soul is exposed. So when these motherfuckers be acting crazy and shit, that's because their code of awareness has been stripped. So the soul is just spinning around and shit and vibrating. That's why they're not aware of nothing, because the code of awareness gone. Now it's just the soul is there. That's it. You can't let them eat off your code of awareness, because it goes with the soul. It's like the protection of the soul. So once they eat off that, because it's like a nucleus, once they eat your code of awareness, your soul is motherfucking exposed. Now it's like, now they can easily go in there and feed off your shit. You don't want that to happen. That's why you see motherfuckers in here that are completely unaware of themselves, and they're usually dumb as fuck, because their whole code of awareness is gone. The whole code of awareness been ate up. This, I'm telling y'all, this shit is filled. If you read that Emerald Green tablet, especially read the one, The Key of Magic and The Key of Mysteries, baby, understand those two. Honey, he goes and tells you about how they came up from the deep, these entities, the Anunnaki motherfuckers they be talking about, those the devils. Those the parasites. They're the actual parasites. The Enlil, the Inkies, the Ninlil, and all, and the Marduk, and the Tazu, and all of them, and Anu, all of them motherfuckers are parasites. Because guess what? They know all of this shit is going on. And do you know how they keep this bitch open? Do you know that this whole motherfucking reality is literally in an artificial black hole? This whole reality is in an artificial black hole that they created from jumping space-time continuums. This shit is in a black hole. That's why this shit is nasty. If you be outside, like how I'm outside, and you just analyze this shit, the ground motherfucking stink. The air ain't even clean. The fucking air stink. The air's supposed to be crisp and breezy. That shit ain't crisp and breezy. That shit stink, and it's stagnant. I was saying to myself, I said, boy, I don't know how the fuck. I say this shit every day. I don't know how the fuck they stay in this shit and they think they motherfucking alive. And this whole shit is dead. The whole shit is dead. This shit is covered with negative entities. Them bugs, they're negative entities. Most motherfuckers don't like fucking bugs. They don't serve a purpose.
You got that right, especially those mosquitoes.
You gotta think about this shit. I've been paying attention to that shit. I'll be doing my meditating, right? And sometimes I get up and a fucking bug will fly around me and shit. And I be like, why the fuck are you flying around me and you got all this fucking open space, but you keep flying around my face and shit? Like, ain't you supposed to be out eating something? Why the fuck are you flying around in my face?
Let me add something on that. Mrs. Scurv was speaking about that earlier today, that when she goes up on the property up there by the house, it's wide open nature, mountains, all this stuff. As soon as she gets up there, she'll wear her long work pants and cover all her body up and everything, for the most part, wearing gloves and everything to dig into the soil and everything. And these bugs are all in her face, all on her leg. She's covered now. She doesn't have nothing exposed, and they're just getting around and just going around her, and just she's like, what is this? And let me tell you something too about these mosquitoes, especially these mosquitoes. They are too small to be that smart. Like, they have a full functioning brain of their own to harass you and hide.
Hold up.
It's demonic.
Paul, and I told you that fucking negative entities. I'm telling you. I go over there and I be using the motherfucking Wi-Fi over here, you know, because I got my laptop and my this phone that I'm on. The Italian guy brought this phone, but I was going over there to use my Wi-Fi, and I'm like, you right about them motherfuckers being smart, because now I'm gonna tell you what pants I wear. I wear the harem pants, the yoga harem pants that they be selling on Amazon. I wear those because they made of linen and it helps you to keep cool because of the air pockets in them. I wear those a lot, and I wear the long tube socks. I pull them bitches all the way up to my knees, and I have to motherfucking wear like the fuzzy socks that you wear in the house. I gotta wear those on top of those socks, because them motherfuckers will bite you through the goddamn socks. And then I gotta wear motherfucking hoodies, because the bitches will fly all around in your goddamn face and shit. And I got like 5 goddamn bottles of Hot Shot. Literally, I got fucking 5 cans of Hot Shot, because I'm outside and I have to deal with these bitches constantly, and I'm not gonna just sit there and let them fucking bite me. And these motherfuckers are so smart, because I be covered up and I be wearing the cutter off stuff, the eucalyptus and the lemon one. They know they can't really bite through that shit, because that shit's strong. So these motherfuckers I done seen these motherfuckers wait on the top of my goddamn laptop, and they looking like they fucking staring at me. I be like,
exactly.
You got to be motherfucking serious. Like, ain't no fucking way. So when I tell you these motherfuckers are negative entities, please believe when I say what I say. I know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I'm out here experiencing this shit.
I agree with you on that.
The ants, them motherfuckers bad too. Oh, them motherfuckers is bad too. Don't get it twisted. I used to think that it was the mosquitoes that was real bad. No, honey. Them motherfucking fire ants, if them bitches bite you, that shit hurt worse than a fucking mosquito bite. Way worse, and it lasts longer, because in order for that bitch to stop hurting, I got bit by a fire, and a week ago, my whole motherfucking front of my motherfucking foot was numb. I was like, what the fuck? I looked at my foot, and it kept itching and stinging, so I had to take my sock off, and sure enough, it was a big-ass bump with venom in it, and I had to bust the damn bump open, squeeze and drain the venom out, and clean the shit out. and that shit was still stinging. And they leave marks. And I don't have no marks on my skin. You just seen the picture of me, Lance. You know my skin is clear for the most part.
Flawless. No, flawless.
That shit, it ain't now. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that it ain't now. That shit bumpy as a motherfucker on one of the sides.
You in the battle right now. You in the battle right now. You're not eating the way you would usually eat. You got it's not even just the food. I'm gonna tell you. And just like I'm typing in the chat room on the site, these entities, when you are at peace with yourself, even if you have, or even if you're in the battle, but find a place that you can have a little peace from within, because you're at peace from within. You know what's coming at you from the outside, but when left alone, you good, right? They will find you. These people, even if just stare at you and annoy you or say something stupid, or like the man held the phones about what would you do for money and having sex, just stupid stuff. You can go to the ends of the earth on the top of the mountain. Somebody's going to climb the mountain just to mess with you. Seriously,
because I'm out here experiencing that shit, and Miss Scurv is not lying about the motherfucking bugs, because out of being homeless, the bugs is what bothers me the most. Because sometimes when the people come up to me, I just look at them like they're crazy. I won't even say nothing to them, and then they'll leave. Or what I start to do now, I had a dude come up to me last week when I was going over there to St. Anne's place, asking me basically, he coming up rolling up a blunt. Oh, do you want to chill? Hell no, I want to chill, motherfucker. Don't you see me with this goddamn suitcase and this goddamn book bag? Do it look like I want to fucking chill, bitch? I'm fucking homeless. I want to get off and get some motherfucking rest. Get off the street and get some motherfucking rest. Bitch, I ain't got no time to be sitting up here talking to a dumbass soul that is completely unaware of themselves. You're not going to you can't make love to me by sticking your dick in me. You have to make love to me mentally. And if you can't feed my mind mentally, you can't do shit for me. So all that shit you talking goes in one and out the other and into the fucking trash. So I'm sitting here, I'm saying to myself, I'm like, these motherfuckers are dead as doorknobs. Because as soon as I told him, I said, dude, I said, despite what you might be thinking, I'm a whole celestial motherfucking being. And he was like, I asked him, I said, do you know what the fuck that is? He was like, no, what is it? I was like, right, you don't know, so keep going. that motherfucker, he left quick. That's how I get rid of them, by basically telling them about the spiritual shit, because I know a lot of them completely unaware, and because they can't catch the frequency of it, it disturbs their fucking vibration. So that's how I can easily deal with the people, because I know how to fuck with them. When you know the knowledge, you can easily manipulate it.
Right. And because most people don't know that their world is very small. They want you to operate in the confines of their world. So when you go beyond their comprehension, it does something to them, and they want to stick their head under the covers or stick their head in the sand and just live on that limited vibration.
It's like because they like combusting, because they can't deal with that shit, because all they know is the default programming of what they've been gave, and they don't realize that shit that you've been told is a virus to the soul. They don't realize that it's a fucking virus. You have to look at this shit like a computer. Every fucking thing that you download, even including that man and that woman shit, because that shit is a virus too, because your soul is not that. And you have to battle with your soul the whole time you here. And you're not supposed to go against your soul. Period. Your soul loves you. Your soul is going to be the only one that's going to keep it real with you. And if you fight your goddamn soul, you going against the grain, you're going to suffer for that.
Eternally.
It was a man over here at this other place that I be sitting at. He a Mexican guy. He was like, well, I want to help you out. I was like, well, I mean, it's not really much you can really do to help me unless you can change the situation and give me some motherfucking rest. That's the only way you can really help. But other than that, you can't do shit for me. So he wanted to. I told him, I said, well, I'm dying out of here. I'll be out of here soon, because I'm not gonna keep hanging on to this shit and be suffering the whole time. I'm not gonna keep doing that. But he was like, well, let me at least get you something to eat. And Lance, now, you know, I didn't show you some of my pictures, and you know I put it down in the kitchen. You know I put it down. And I cook from scratch. That's good ass energy.
Yeah,
it ain't food. That's energy. That's good ass energy.
Ain't no Duncan Hines going on over there. Ain't no Duncan Hines cake mix going on over there with you.
No, I put my shit from scratch, from flour. I got to mix all the flours. I put that bitch through the strainer and fucking whisk it and all that. I cook my shit from scratch. Ain't no box shit with me. So, and I've been cooking since I was fucking 13. So, I know my shit. So, I'm sitting here and I'm like, this motherfucker gonna go over there and get me some food. And that's another reason why I ain't been eating, because I don't eat from strange hands. I can't do that shit. I can't do it. So this motherfucker, he goes over there and he bring me some food, right? Lance, I lie to you not. Now, I don't eat the meat like I used to. I eat it every so often, Right. But mainly I've been eating French fries.
Right.
Because you can't really fuck up on them. So, unless you burn them. So, right. I'm like, so he bring me the food, and I was so hesitant to open that shit. I opened that shit. I was like, this shit stinks. I ain't saying it out loud, because I ain't want to be rude. Right. I had to be regal and be gracious, because he did offer the help, even though I ain't fucking asked you for it. But, okay, right. I'll be reciprocative of what you did, of your kindness. But, honey, the minute his ass left, I ate, even the rice was nasty. I took a bite of the rice, and he was like, well, why you not eating? I said, well, I had ate something for breakfast, and I ain't eat shit for breakfast. I had ate, but I told him that because I didn't want to be rude. And I told him I ate something for breakfast, and he was like, well, don't make sure that you eat it. I was saying to myself, I was like, shit, we ain't eating no shit like this. Fuck that. Honey, I'll starve before. I'm real picky. I'm a picky bitch. I will starve before I eat that shit. So I smelled that shit, and that shit made me sick to my stomach just smelling it. And the minute his motherfucking ass left, I got my ass up. I said, you know what? Before he comes back, let me go over here and trash this shit real quick to let him. So when he come back, the time he come back, yeah, I ate it. That motherfucker, he came back, he was like, so did you eat? I was like, yeah, but the motherfucker, he knew I didn't eat that shit, because the next day when he seen me, he was like, well, didn't you tell me that you like French fries? I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, I got you some French fries today, and I'm going to sit here and make sure you eat them today. So in other words, he knew I didn't eat that shit. Hell no, bitch, you not. And he went and bought that shit from his restaurant. Well, whoever you got in there, you need to fire them for that shit, because that shit stinks. I'm sorry, I'm not eating that. You ain't making my spirit sick. Fuck that. That's like feeding me a fucking virus, basically. So, I've been out here dealing with a lot of shit. Lance, because I have not been eating, I've been seeing the fucking energies. I've been seeing them. And my neck so goddamn skinny that if I move one way, that shit is like a sharp jolt in that shit because, of the malnutrition. Because the spirit about to leave the body, and you feel all of that shit because of the low frequencies here. You feel all of that shit. So the more that I don't eat, I'm noticing that I'm seeing a lot of the energies more often. I didn't even see the energies in the goddamn shower while I was taking the goddamn shower. I was like, they fucking all over the place. So basically, we really are living in a fucking illusion because the energies is all over the motherfucking place. They're right in front of you. You just can't see them. Because you so dense, you can't see them because of the food, all of the programming that you intaking. You won't be able to see the spiritual because the spiritual is holy. The spiritual is not programmed like the avatar is. So the more programming that you intake, you're not going to see it like that. Stop that motherfucking eating that goddamn food and lighten up your motherfucking spirit. I bet you'll see them motherfuckers then. And they be all different sizes, and they be looking like glitter. They look like glittering diamonds. They literally look like glittering, sparkling diamonds. And they be different sizes, and you can stare at the sky, and you can see them bare eye, just staring at the sky. You know, yes, they be fluttering all over the place, and I just be like, but everybody is so and I'm sitting out here, and because I'm homeless. About 5 o'clock in the morning, the motherfucking rat race started. Everybody on the motherfucking road, going to work. Everybody, in their cars, walking to the bus. I'd be like, these motherfuckers, they don't even realize they like motherfucking zombies. Because they're programmed. You can see the programming when you step out of this shit. You can see it. And I just be like, they
a lot of them not even awake. They think they're awake when they work. They don't wake up until half the day is over. They just going through like.
You don't want then, because by the time the half of the day over, your motherfucking soul energy burned. The only thing you want to do is go back to the void, which is what they call sleep. Because that's not really sleep. That sleep is a program. You're actually in the void when you go to sleep. That's why it's pitch black. That's why you don't have no goddamn body when you sleep, because your spirit done detached. You ain't got no body when you motherfucking sleep. And if anybody has a body when you sleep that you can feel, hear, smell, and touch, please let me know. Now is the time to say it. I'm asking y'all to tell me if you got a body when you go to sleep. Please tell me if you can actually experience the five senses while you sleep. Please tell me, because I ain't experienced it yet. And then I had another motherfucking experience, and I gagged at this. So I'm sitting here, I'm in the car one night, sleep, right? And I was wondering, I'm like, because I'm having all these bullshit ass dreams, and I'm like, okay, ain't none of this shit in my consciousness. These are not my thoughts. So why is this shit happening to me? One night though, I seen the shit happen. I seen another consciousness come to me in the void, and it was in a orb shape. It was like how the spirits look, like balls. It was like a ball, and you could see the reality that was inside of the spirit ball. You could see it, and it comes to you, and it'll attach to you, and that's how you get into that dream, because it's almost like, because you unaware, they done pulled you into their reality.
Yeah.
I seen this shit. So this is what's happening, and that's how they fucking get your ass here, because the spirit is unaware, because it exists as pure energy. And because these spirits are aware of themselves and they're much older than you, they can basically create a reality. Remember I told you that you had your own reality, and it's like a universe within a universe within a universe within a universe. Remember I told you that? Because first you got to think about the void. The void is one dimension or universe. Then you got to think about the spirit. The spirit becomes energy inside of the dark energy membrane. So now you got two universes. Then after that, you come into motherfucking density. That's another universe that you come into, because when you do collective consciousness, the energy is condensed. It's compiled. It's a whole bunch of energies compiled on each other. So that's a whole nother universe. And then if they pull you into that virtual world, that's another one, because now you done left from the spirit density and you done went into the artificial density. Does that make sense what I'm saying to you?
No, I got you. That makes sense.
So when I seen that spirit, I could literally see it was something playing within their dimension of space, because I could see it. While I was asleep, I could see the shit. And I seen it coming towards me, and I could see like images of persons inside of it, but it's not, because when you get into the void, shit, the molecules break apart real easy because they're not dense anymore, so the dream will collapse quick. If that is making sense to you or not.
Yeah, it dissipates. And just like you said,
because there's no density.
Right. The universe within the universe, we are used to looking outward. But isn't it funny that when we look outward, we look up in the sky and look at space, and we see these planets and these lights. But on a molecular level, what do you see? They have molecules, protons, neutrons, electrons. It's the same thing. If you break that down, it's just different
particles.
Right. I understand.
And let me tell you about the planet. Let me tell you about that, because Miss Empress, she tried to swear me up and down about that, but she ain't done her motherfucking homework, because she don't even realize that the Anunnaki, do you know what they call these bodies? They call these bodies the alien slave technology, and it's the reason why they call them that, because The Anunnaki come from a whole nother space-time continuum, and it's way lower than ours. Our vibration is higher than theirs. That's why they look weird and they look dead, because they are lower beings. So they come from a whole nother space-time continuum. And those planets represent them. It represents their consciousness. It's not a physical place, because guess what? If it was a physical place, how come the fuck you can't travel to Jupiter now? You can't go to Jupiter now in the body that you in now. You can't even motherfucking go to the moon now in the body you in, because that shit was done on green screen. So you can't, if you can't go there, if you can't go to these planets in the physical body that you in now, come back with some motherfucking evidence, and I mean some real shit, do some live motherfucking feeds of you interacting with some type of life form on that planet, and you have a goddamn screen where you walking on it, you witnessing the atmosphere, you interact. You can't do that, bitch, it ain't real. Straight up. Because you got to prove that shit to me. And I go by facts and evidence. I'm not going by no superstition shit. That shit, when they talk about Pluto, Neptune, and all these different places, that shit represents the Anunnaki. Because the Anunnaki created all of this human shit. They created this shit, and they wanted slaves. They wanted slaves, which is the human race. They wanted slaves because you have the human body is created with their DNA. They came here through the space-time continuum and ripped the fabric of space-time through density, because they carry that low-ass frequency. That's why they was able to do it, because they carry that dense-ass frequency. That's why they're able to do it, because that's, when you look at a black hole, black holes are only formed through density. It has to be a real big-ass star that has a lot of hydrogen in it, and it's a bunch of molecules that have came together, and that particular energy is so fucking heavy and dense that it basically makes a curvature in the space-time continuum. That's the only way you can make a black hole, is that the energy has to be that heavy and that dense. Otherwise than that, you're not going to make no black hole. So those when they talk about the planets, the Mars, the Mercury, all of that shit represents the Anunnaki.
Let me interject. I got to close these windows because the rain is coming down so hard. So keep talking, because you have a crap load of people here listening, and I'll be right back. I got about 4 or 5 windows to close, but keep talking.
Okay.
All right.
So they have basically the Anunnaki is the ones that represent those fucking planets. And those are the ones that enslave humanity. They're not your motherfucking friend. They tell you in the fucking Enuma Elish, they tell you that Enlil was the one who wanted to create the slave race, which they call humanity. So they use their DNA, which equals their energy, their vibration. And when they created humanity, there was no humanity here. Y'all were spirits then. That's why a lot of y'all don't remember your beginning before the human shit, because you was in your spirit form. You didn't have no motherfucking body. But see, I remember myself as a spirit and an energy before I came into density. So I knew that this shit wasn't right. So they came here through a whole nother motherfucking space-time continuum, ripped open the fabric of the cosmos, came through here with those low-ass dense vibrations, because they still have them, because I'm going to explain that shit to you. They came here, and they came through the space-time continuum, came through here and started colonizing the spirits. And they can do this shit because look what I told you about the consciousness that came to me in the void with a whole reality playing within its own consciousness. That's how they got y'all here. That's exactly how they got you here. By doing that same shit that they did to me, coming to me in the void. And now I'm looking at their spirit, and I'm in spirit form because I don't have no body. It's black. So I'm seeing this spirit come to me, and I'm seeing the energy have a reality basically playing in its dimension of space, that ball of energy, because I'm seeing this shit. I'm literally seeing this shit. And I'm saying to myself, okay, so this is how they manipulate the spirits to come together and with this collective consciousness shit, because they basically play a reality and manipulate your spirit to do it. That's how they're doing it. So what I'm saying is that when, hold on for just a second, y'all, because what the fuck is this trunk door open? I'm supposed to be the only one out here. That's weird as shit. So what I'm saying is that that's how they manipulated all of the fucking energies here, is because these bitches came through a whole space-time continuum, came here, ripped open the damn space-time continuum, and started colonizing the spirits. And when they colonize the spirits, because they already know, they have knowledge on this shit, they've done it before and it's happened to them. Because they wouldn't know how to do this shit unless they had to experience that shit too. Because that's the only way it would have happened, because the spirit does not start off corrupted like that. The spirit don't start off, the spirit starts off pure. Because if you start off corrupted, what the fuck point is it of you even coming into existence if you already dead? So you know that the spirit does not start off like that. They had to experience that shit too. And they knew that if they colonized the spirits, that they could rule that shit, because they have knowledge over you because you're unaware of yourself. That's how they did it. And they still doing it, and they tell you that the reason how this reality came into being because people was calling them up from the deep, which is that low ass vibration, that low ass vibrational space continuum that they came from, and they was calling them up from the deep, but they can only take form when the blood is offered. That means something has to be sacrificed in order for them to take form and in order for them to stay here. But as you can see, there's a lot of motherfucking blood sacrifices going on here today. You see the fucking wars. You see the senseless fighting and people shooting each other over $5 and the most dumbest shit. All of that is to feed them. That's why they still here running this shit. Because how the fuck you gonna be a spirit? You a whole intangible being. And you out here motherfucking killing somebody. Do you know how stupid that shit is? And you a whole intangible being? That shit is fucking insanity. So that's how they got here, and that's how they still are here running this shit. Do not think that these gods that they are telling y'all that they're the real gods, they are not. These motherfuckers are demons. You have to understand, if all of this suffering is going on, why isn't God fixing it? There are fucking innocent children out here getting raped and dying. You mean to tell me God is going to allow that? If you're supposed to be an all-loving God, why your bitch ass ain't stop that shit and you know that shit is wrong? Because if I know it's wrong and I don't like the shit, you supposed to be God. You should be over me. So if I feel like this shit wrong, what the fuck is wrong with you? So that's telling you that there is no God. God exists within you. Nobody that cares about you is going to sit up here and allow evil shit to go on around you without interjecting that shit or without trying to interrupt it. They have not interrupted that shit yet because it's still going on. If you could only see all these damn homeless people out here, I mean, this shit is getting crazy. It's like you have to fucking step over them. They're fucking everywhere. And they got all these empty apartments, all these empty homes, ain't nobody staying in them, and yet you got all these homeless people out here. And then when you go and sit somewhere, they'll tell you, oh, if you don't move, I'm going to call the cops. You going to call the cops? That's a damn demon. They know that you homeless. They know. Why the fuck are you calling the cops when they ain't done shit to you? I can see if I came into your shit and robbed you, but bitch, I'm just sitting down. What the fuck? That's not bothering you. You're supposed to be in the damn building anyway. So this shit, this whole system is evil as fuck. This shit is evil. And they tell you, too, this is another thing, too. See that ancestor shit? And now I'm going to tell you, I know y'all going to be pissed off with me about this, but I'm going to tell y'all, I love you enough not to give a fuck because I know the real deal. That shit is bullshit. Those ancestors basically are your goddamn enemies, to be honest, because you keep sitting up here talking about an ancestor. You ain't supposed to be having no goddamn human experience, no way, because you have to fight your goddamn soul the whole time it's here. So those ancestors are weighing your goddamn soul down from being free. The Emerald Green Tablets of Tahuti tells you that. Man is light. Light is man. You can only travel in light. He even Tahuti tells you this. He says, and I'm quoting him. He says, life is death is life, but not death the way man knows death. Death is light. In order for you to have a real life, you have to be light. So in other words, basically what he's saying is that your human body is actually death. And your real existence is actually life because there's no worry. There's no fear. Which in fear equals false evidence appearing real. There's no anxiety. There's no depression. There's no stress. But you deal with all that shit while you got that nasty-ass body that I can't fucking stand. Because as long as you keep that motherfucking body, that body was created through low vibrations. So as long as you have that body, you're going to suffer. It might appear nice, but remember, it's temporary. Temporary happiness. And all of those items that you gain, just like all of my shit. I done had Gucci shit. I done had Burberry shit. I done had designer bags. I done had diamonds. I done had that shit, and I sold that shit, and I threw the rest of the shit away. My goddamn dresser used to look like a goddamn MAC counter with fucking perfume, different designer perfumes on it. I have pictures of all of that shit, and I threw all of that shit away. Because why the fuck, if I can lose all of that shit in the blink of an eye, what good is me trying to scribe my whole damn lifetime trying to keep it? If you could just lose that shit in the blink of an eye, it makes no sense. It's an illusion. It's a temporary illusion. And who in the fuck in their right mind will lose all of that shit and then you're going to go right back in the matrix to try to gain all that shit again and burn your soul energy out again only for you to lose the shit again? That shit is insanity. The shit is insanity. This shit is crazy. This is one of the reasons why I say what I say about this shit. This whole fucking reality is fucking evil. It's pure fucking evil. The whole fucking thing. And the way it came into being is through deception anyway, because they deceived and manipulated the consciousness through the void to get here. The whole shit is evil. And the fucking bugs Miss Scurv is not lying about that shit. Because I've been noticing that shit. Like, they already on the ground. Then these motherfuckers will be flying all around the cars and shit. Then they'll be fucking flying all in the sky. I'd be like, it's a fucking blanket of these motherfuckers. They're every fucking where. That shit is nasty. They're fucking everywhere. Don't nobody want no motherfucking bugs flying on them and shit and biting on them. That shit is nasty as fuck. And I was saying to myself, I was like, so basically, we motherfucking trapped with a whole bunch of low vibrational fucking parasites, basically. Because the ants, the bugs and shit feed off you. That's why they be flying all in your goddamn face and shit. And biting you. They fucking feeding off you because they're fucking low vibrational entities. They come from a low ass, that fucking black hole that I was telling you about, that artificial black hole, that bitch is still open. That's why all of these entities can get in here. Because that bitch is open. Why you think they keep doing the blood sacrifice and them motherfuckers keep dying to keep that black hole open? Because think about it now. If you was in peace, and look at this on an energetic level. If the soul is at peace, the soul don't go through no stress. The soul don't have to scream. The soul is not angry. It don't have no fear because it wouldn't even know what the fuck fear was. So fear wouldn't even be an issue. But when you come in, when you incarnate into this reality, all of that shit changes. Because now you got all of those emotions. And you got fear. Because everybody that's in these bodies, your ass is being controlled by fear. Basically, fear you're going to lose your house. Fear you're going to die. Fear your husband going to cheat on you. Fear your wife fucking around on you. Fear you're going to lose your money. It's all fear, 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 fear. The whole shit is fucking ran by fear. So that's a low vibration. So you're experiencing all of these low-ass vibrations. And think about this shit. When somebody dies and they fucking scream or they getting tortured, when they be screaming, do you see how much energy that they have to scream out? That's a heavy-ass amount of energy that they putting out. So that creates density. And if you got a whole bunch of them doing it, they already tell you, if you study the stars and you study energy, that shit can, a real big star by itself can fucking make a curvature in the space-time continuum. So what the fuck do you think is going to happen if you got millions of fucking energies fucking doing that? It's going to rip a fucking hole in the space-time continuum. And that's how they got here, and they still here. That's why the death and shit is still going on, to keep that black hole open. That's why they can't let you be in peace. That's why they can't let you do it, because they have to keep that black hole open, because they cannot survive here without that low vibrational frequency. They cannot survive here. They can't even come into form. That's why when you see those motherfucking celebrities, I don't know why y'all worshiping them. Them motherfuckers ain't nothing but devils. All the celebrities, for most of the part, all of them devils. Because they got to go to those nasty-ass parties that they be having. All of them go to those nasty, filthy-ass parties that they be having, and they all have to sacrifice at some point in time. All of them have to do it. And when they say that they're cloning somebody, in truth, I'm going to tell you what's happening with that. A pure spirit can incarnate and form its own avatar in density. Because it's already dense anyway. This shit already pre-programmed. When you come into density, it's already been programmed. So that spirit can animate its own avatar. Now, when they put another negative spirit in their avatar, because that's what they doing when they say cloning, they kill off the spirit in their avatar by putting it through trauma and shock, and so the spirit will leave the avatar. And then they'll take that corpse, that body, and put another spirit in. That's what they did with Wendy Williams. Because Wendy didn't look the way she looked now when she was the Wendy that everybody knows. Now, that energy that's within Wendy cannot hold that form up, and that's why she looks dead. Because it can't hold that form up. That's not Wendy Williams' consciousness in their body. That's a negative entity's consciousness in that body. And they're using her, they put that negative consciousness in their body because she started to fucking fight back, and she started to tell the truth because she was getting tired of being fucking silenced and being controlled. They know that at some point in time you're going to buck that fucking MK Ultra. They already know that, because the more pressure you put on the motherfucker, they're going to get sick of that shit after a while, and they're going to fight through that shit because you're fucking trying to suppress their soul. Their soul's natural defense is to fucking fight back, naturally. And they know you're going to do that because they know how the spirit works. So when you do that, they kill your ass off. They take you to a facility, kill your ass off by putting your ass through trauma so the soul will leave. And then they already got that black hole open. So another negative entity just come right through it and inhabit the body, that spirit, the pure spirit that was in their body, because they can't animate bodies in this space-time continuum because they vibrate too low. They're of a whole nother vibration. Tahuti tells you that in the Emerald Green Tablets. He tells you this, that they can only come into being through when the blood is offered, meaning you have to make a sacrifice. That's why the celebrities do it. They make sacrifices to get what they have. Them motherfuckers are demons, pure evil. And for the ones that get killed off, they weren't as demonic as a lot of the other ones. Like Rihanna. Look at Rihanna. That's a whole demon. That bitch ain't got no talent. The bitch can't sing and the bitch can't dance. The only thing the bitch got is a look, and even that was stolen because she had to use somebody else's blood to get that body that she got. That's not her body. That's somebody else's shit that they fucking gene spliced their fucking blood with and put a negative entity in it. Because that bitch don't have no talent. She just a look. That's it. There's no talent there. That's an empty vessel. And Wendy, that body that she has now, that body looks dead. It did not look like that when she was in it. Now it looks dead. And they keep her body around because they know a lot of people like Wendy Williams. They know a lot of spirits admire Wendy. So that's a way to keep everybody's attention, to keep this fucking matrix going, because everything is like a wave. Think about it. You go to a motherfucking pond and you throw a fucking rock in that pond. What is going to happen? You're going to see a ripple effect across the pond. Am I wrong or am I right?
You're right.
Right. So that ripple effect is waves of vibration. That's how this whole motherfucking matrix is being ran, through vibration. Why do you think they have to put all those fake-ass celebrity stories out to get y'all attention, to keep the matrix running? That's how they doing it. And those celebrities ain't nothing worse than the motherfuckers' demons. Everything they got, they sacrifice the motherfucker to get it. All this talent out here, and you mean to tell me they putting talentless motherfuckers in the spotlight, really? I mean, you have to really question that shit. This is how they doing this shit. And when they kill them celebrities off, that's why they be saying they be cloned. Because when they kill them off, they take their ass to a facility and fucking torture them until the spirit leaves, and they put another entity in it. And usually when that new entity come in it, it has to have a handler. Because that shit, even Beyonce too, that's not Beyonce, that's a fucking clone. Beyonce been left. That ain't Beyonce. That's a clone. They have pictures showing her that bitch whole body morphed. That bitch is being possessed. Her whole goddamn body morphed by a demonic spirit. All of those celebrities are possessed. They're not so-called humane the way you think. The motherfuckers are pure devils. And anything that they got, they have sacrificed to get it. That's how it works. And that's why they spiritually attacking me, because they know I'm talented as a motherfucker too. They know this. And that's why they attacking me, because they want me to sell my soul out to them. That's why think about it now. Most of the people that got famous, they were homeless. They put you in a desperate position so you could sell your soul out. They do that shit on purpose. They do this shit on purpose. But I'm not going to sell my soul out. I'm going to tell you one thing about me. You cannot control me, because I'm not doing shit I don't want to do. If I have the talent, then, bitch, you should be glad that I'm using my motherfucking talent to even bring you any motherfucking money. That's more than enough. I shouldn't have to do over that. I'm not motherfucking participating in no goddamn sex parties and no motherfucking orgies, and I'm not killing nobody and none of that shit neither, unless I have to do it because you attacked me. Otherwise than that, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not going to be sacrificing somebody else that ain't done shit to me just to feed a fucking dead entity. Fuck that. And that's why this shit is running the way it's running, because these motherfuckers are pure motherfucking evil, and they are motherfucking dead. And I keep telling y'all, they are dead entities already. You just saw I explained about the dude I was married to. That motherfucker whole face looked different after I had sex with him. I was like, this shit is supernatural as a motherfucker. That motherfucker face was glowing and everything. I was like, and his shit was just hanging not too long ago. So that's telling you, when you have sex, they stealing energy from you. They show you that. Watch the motherfucking movie called Into the Void. They show you what's happening in that. And they show you when you fuck somebody, exactly what's happening. It's an energy spot that they're feeding off. They show you that in Enter the Void. That's why you think I talk against sex all the time? I know my shit. Ain't nobody's motherfucking fool.
Mm-hmm.
Watch that movie, Enter the Void, and because I think it's like 2.5 hours long, but they show you what happens when the body dies. They show you what happens because, see, that guy in that movie, when he died, he was still attached to his family, his girlfriend, so his spirit lingered for a long time after he died because he was so attached to this shit. But see, in order for you, because remember I told you that when you leave here, because you are trapped in a field of low, thick-ass vibrations, because you got to think about that shit. When I meditate and when they be spiritually attacking me, it feels very dense. You can tell the energy that's attacking me is heavy because I don't feel heavy because I'm not eating. I'm light and I'm quiet and I'm calm. And when they be doing that shit, you can feel how heavy their energy is. So you have to fight against the masses is basically what you're doing because the masses are so fucking stupid and they're so fucking dumb. They don't even realize what's happening to them. They just straight up program on some low frequency shit. This human bullshit. And you got to fight against that to go back to your spirit form. And honey, as quiet as it's kept, if you read or you listen to you, because it's the audio of the Emerald Green Tablets of Tahuti on YouTube. I think it's the particular one called the Key of Mysteries. Do you know they even tell you that even after you leave the motherfucking body, it's motherfucking wardens and guards and shit that guard the space-time continuum, or not the space-time when once the spirit leaves the body, that this shit be fucking running around trying to fucking track the souls down in curves and shit. I was like, so in other words, these motherfuckers have opened this black hole so hard and so much that these motherfuckers then brought all type of negative entities here. That's why I said this whole shit is blanketed with them. Because if you leave the body, if your spirit leaves the body, you already got to fucking traverse the thick-ass density just to go back to the fucking space-time continuum where you really belong, which is the star space. The star space is where the consciousness really belong at, where all the other stars is at, where they free and flying. They're not dense and weighed the fuck down and terrorized and tortured. Because while you here, that's what they do to the spirit. They terrorize it and torture it because the spirit is not at peace when it's here. It's in anguish the whole time. The spirit is never at peace here. You will never find peace in this shit, never. And the little peace that you get is temporary. You will never find peace here. Your peace lies in the star space. That's the only way you're going to get it. And any little peace that you have, you better best believe that shit is going to be temporary. And after a while, the torture going to come right back. Trust me, I know what I know. And they tell you that this shit is bounded by fucking guards and shit that's in a spiritual form. And they tracking the spirits down and shit after the spirit then left the body and is trying to pass through the low density to get back to the star space. It's fucking, they call them the hounds of hell. I guess they got astral bodies, and these motherfuckers be chasing the spirits that try to escape the low vibrations. That's why I said this shit goes deep as a motherfucker. This shit is just not no 1, 2, 3. That's why I said to be sitting up here talking about that human shit, you have no motherfucking idea the lengths these motherfuckers went through to trap you in this shit. You have to think about that shit. These motherfuckers done laid spiritual astral projections of fucking negative entities out in the motherfucking barrier. They call it the barrier because it is basically a barrier. The low vibrations. That's why you get a headache. You experience anger. It's not really a headache. A headache is a made up word, just like the body. But it's really low vibrations you stuck in, because the whole cosmos is about energy, vibration, and frequency. So you are trapped in low vibrations. You're trapped in low vibrations. And if once your spirit leaves their body, then you got to travel past. You have to travel out of the body. Then you have to go through the low vibrational field that you trapped in. Then you have to traverse and get to the star space. And that sun is a portal out of here. Tahuti tells you in the Emerald Green Tablets, keep your eyes pointed to the stars, to the cosmos. Keep your eyes at the sun. Sing the song of freedom. Because he knows that your ass is stuck in bondage here. He says that shit numerous times in the Emerald Green Tablets. You are a slave here, and man, and think about it. He even tell you, he said, because when they went through this shit too. They experienced this shit too. And he says when man is free of the toils, when your spirit is free of the toils. Toiling means to work. So that's just like I said, you're not supposed to be working. That shit burns your soul out. And when you come at the end of this shit, if you still programmed, you know your soul is finished, right? Ain't gonna be no more consciousness for you. Your soul gonna be done. Mm-hmm. And just like Tahuti said, your soul is all you got. The body is nothing. Your soul is all. He tells you this shit. He's telling you. Now, I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of shit I don't like in there that he said. Because there's one part in there I was pissed off about that shit when he was like, he says in there, I think it's the tablet of the seven lords. And he says, one of them, I don't know which one his name is. I think it's UNCONPROMISING. This is the Lord that he's talking about. One of them, I think the name of this one was UNCONPROMISING. And he said this one binds the spirit. You know what that binding shit is, don't you? That binding shit is binding the spirit to that goddamn body. Mm-hmm. That shit is evil. Because look at all that you have to experience as a spirit when you connected to these fucking bodies. Death, pain, torture, fear. You ain't got no goddamn business experience in that, and the spirit's supposed to be holy. Holy means you can't have no parts of none of it. That's just the reality of it, because you did not come from that. The spirit, they don't call it the Holy Spirit for nothing. You cannot have no parts of that shit. And this is another thing. Now, see, in my situation, I'm homeless. So I'm about to die up out of here soon. But I'm just going to tell y'all this. You have to watch out for a lot of these motherfucking YouTubers, because I be watching shit. And I just be like, it's okay to talk about the metaphysical, but you can't be on the motherfucking metaphysical keep trying to sell products and shit. Like, that shit is not cool.
For real.
Because you have to understand, I don't give a fuck what soap you buy. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Ain't none of that shit gonna do nothing for the soul. The soul don't need no motherfucking soap. Let's be real. The soul is an intangible being. The soul is holy. So what the fuck is material soap gonna do for the soul when the soul is intangible? You need to be, if you're gonna ask for money, you need to be telling them about the motherfucking spiritual the way I'm coming at them with, because I ain't coming with no motherfucking lies. I'm not coming with trying to sell this and sell that. I'm trying to tell you how to free your motherfucking spirit up out of here. Fuck all that other shit. All that other shit trying to sell products, that shit is keeping your ass in bondage. Even Tahuti tells you this too. He says, when you eat food, food is a chain that keeps you stuck and as a slave. He tells you that in the Emerald Green Tablets. He tells you you got to let all of that shit go. Why you think they say the road to heaven will be very narrow? Mm-hmm. But the road to Hades will be wide as a motherfucker. And you already in a form of Hades just by being here, being incarnated as a human. You already in a part of Hades already. Why you think they got that motherfucking black hole, that artificial black hole open? So when this shit collapse, all those spirits that's vibrating low, guess where they going? Right in that black hole. And the spirits that vibrate high, They're not going to be in that black hole because they're going to be light as a motherfucking feather. But all of these attachments that you have weighs your spirit down, and you cannot be weighed down like that in order to get out of here. Because if you get trapped in that black hole, your spirit is going to be done. Because if you do manage to keep your spirit together and keep its energy together, where the fuck do you think you're going after that? You're going to go in a lower realm than this one. Because you are already in a black hole already. You're in an artificial one created by them, the Anunnaki. So if you don't let this shit go, why do you think I keep coming at y'all with this shit? You see, listen, I'm homeless. I ain't got shit. I got rid of all of my shit. I threw a lot of my shit away, and I sold it. And I ain't worrying about getting that shit again. I just want some rest. I ain't had a decent rest in fucking 7 months, literally. And you see how loud my motherfucking voice is.
Yeah, but you sound strong. I mean, I'm not doubting you or saying no, but that's not your physical that's making you strong. It sounds strong.
No. The physical is weak. Cause my goddamn legs, you can feel them. You can feel like down there where the ankle part is. They're very weak. And it feels like sometimes I can't carry a lot because it feels like I'm about to tip the fuck over. So it's getting hard for me to even hold my balance up now. So I know I'll be leaving here soon. Because I've given up everything. And I wanted to read. I got to find this. I have to read this to y'all. Because this shit ties in with my soul. Because I knew it was the reason why shit wasn't going right for me. And I just couldn't understand why was nothing going right for me. It just didn't make sense for me. But I got the answer now. And I'm going to read this shit to y'all. Because motherfuckers think that the soul is stupid. Baby, the soul ain't motherfucking dumb. The soul is very intelligent. And they think that the soul, when you talk to them about the spiritual shit and about the soul, a lot of motherfuckers just throw that shit off. No, bitch. The soul is motherfucking way more fucking intelligent than your fucking funky ass avatar is. Your avatar is the dead motherfucker, not your soul. The soul is very real. I'm going to read this to y'all. Give me just a second because I want y'all to hear this.
Yeah, take your time. And in case I get cut off because I'm on my equipment, I'm going to call right back in because the storm, let me tell you something. The way it rains out here, Florida never saw nothing like this. But it's not like a sustained hurricane. It's you have the mountains on one side and you have the beach and you have the city in between. That wind comes off of the mountain like a kid on a sliding board. And then it creates what? That's why they have to make these places out of concrete, because the way I kept stepping away. I closed the windows, it seemed like it went away, then and I'm talking about metal things. Stuff that stuff flying outside. You can't leave, like even garbage cans going up in the air, falling metal garbage cans. Crazy. And as concrete as this place is, I'm like, this wind's going to blow this place down. So if it was a wooden structure like up in the north, these places would blow down. These winds come out of nowhere. Now, up in the mountains, you're kind of safe because it's up there where it's starting. But when you're down on the flatland, going toward the water, you don't know what you run into. I've seen vans run off the road just being pushed. Man, it's crazy.
And this guy also too, Lance. Mm-hmm. This guy, what's his name? Now out of a lot of the YouTubers, he's probably one of the realest one. His name is All This Guy. You remember I kept telling you about him? That motherfucker is sharp as shit. I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker say about him. That motherfucker don't come up there and ask nobody for no motherfucking money. He don't do none of that shit. And that motherfucker breaks this spiritual shit down so motherfucking eloquently. You can't say shit about him, period. Because there's nothing to say. That motherfucker is artistic with that shit. He can break down all the spiritual shit in less than a fucking hour.
Damn. I gotta check.
That man is motherfucking sharp as shit. And he ain't old either. He even tells you the 6 delusions: family, lineage, class, caste, stations, and forms. You know what the form is. That's the body. That's the delusion. The
Right.
family delusion, because you know that shit ain't real. Most
That's
of
what I
them
call
will
the
sit up
DNA
and fucking
sharers.
turn on you.
Right, exactly. The DNA sharers. The
Your
DNA.
lineage, that shit ain't real, and that includes those ancestors too, because he talks about the ancestors too. Your ancestors keep your ass in bondage. You have to remember, they're fucking programmed. They're stuck here. So
You
of
did a
course
show
they're
about
gonna
that.
want misery loves company.
Right, you did a show about that, remember?
Thank you. I know my shit. Then he says class is a fucking delusion. So when you see these white motherfuckers, oh, well, I'm white and you're, bitch, the only reason why you can have that motherfucking reality is because other motherfuckers have to suffer for you to have that reality. And the only reason why you can have it is because they are unaware of themselves. That's it.
Right.
If they become aware of themselves, bitch, how long do you think you gonna have that reality? Not long, motherfucker. That shit gonna collapse real quick. So when he says that, and when he goes on about these delusions, he's not lying about that shit. Cause they're all fucking delusions. Your family is a delusion. Your motherfucking class is a delusion. Your lineage is a delusion because those ancestors are low frequencies. That's how they pulled your ass here. You feed them. Your whole fucking purpose is to feed them while they keep your ass in suffering. Because this shit is all suffering. Ain't no peace here. I don't know where they get that shit from. Where is the peace? Where?
Right.
Please tell me, because I would love to hear it. Where is it? Because I'm seeing a whole bunch of homeless motherfuckers out here. And let me tell you, I got to tell you this story before I find this part. I got to tell you this. I'm gonna have y'all ass laughing with this shit. So I went over there to it's the botanical gardens where I'm at, and I usually would go over there and sit and shit. You know, in the first couple of months I was homeless. So it's a fucking guy. It was a guy who worked over there. His name was Mr. Eddie. He was a big black guy. And I first started talking to him. I was telling him about the Matrix and shit like that. And I tell everybody that shit. I don't be talking. When they come and talk to me, it's about the motherfucking Matrix and about the spiritual, period. I'm not talking about shit else. If you can't understand that, then we ain't going to talk long. Because that's the shit I'm on, because I know I got to leave the fuck up out of here. So I was talking to him about that shit, and he just swore up and down to me, oh, I know all about the Matrix, and I know this, and I know that. And Lance, you already know I'm looking at this motherfucker like, oh, but you know that, but bitch, you working at that job, though. And he told me, he said, well, shit, I'm a check away from being homeless. I have to work 2 damn jobs. Right, bitch, but if you knew about the Matrix, motherfucker, then why the fuck are you working there, dummy? Because if you know that they fucking draining your goddamn energy and the shit already rigged against you, what's the point? You're just killing yourself, basically.
Yeah.
So then he was cool the first couple of months, but the motherfucker turned on me. And that brings me back to my point about the delusions. It only lasts for a temporary period. Just like with this help from this white Italian guy. I'm not depending on him for that because I know that shit is gonna end soon. I already know this. So I'm already pre-aware of this shit. So when it does come, it don't come as a surprise.
Right.
Cause I already know what time it is. So with the black guy, I had told him, he was like, well, how you eating? I said, well, I go in the Family Dollar and I fucking take this shit. What the fuck I look like sitting up here paying for shit? And to be honest, and I know the spiritual knowledge behind all this shit, bitch, I ain't got no business paying for shit. As high vibrational as I am, bitch, I'm powering this whole shit, bitch. To me, every motherfucking thing should be free. So I go in there and I tell him, you know, what I be doing, because what the fuck I'm a lie for? I'm an open book. I'll keep this shit 100 with you. I ain't got to lie about shit. So he sat up here and he said to me, he was like, oh, well, you know, because God is this. And he was talking to me about the white people, talking about, well, anytime the white people do something good for you, it's because God made them do it. Bitch, Ain't no motherfucking God made them do shit, motherfucker. They did it because they wanted to do it. Bitch, God, the only thing that God is doing is keeping your punk ass there working, burning your motherfucking fat ass soul out, motherfucker. That's why you look stupid as fuck the way you be looking. He out there bending over as big as his ass is with his goddamn back hurting and shit. Talk about, oh, my back hurting because I'm working on the... Yeah, right. But if you knew about all the spiritual, why the fuck you doing it? And then he talked about white people like a motherfucking dog. He be dog walking them. But the place that he work at is filled with them. So how can you feel like that and you sit out there working around them? That's the phony shit I'm talking about. Because if you truly feel like that about them, how the fuck are you the only black man there and you working all around them while you feel like that the whole time? Do you know that shit is suppressing your soul, motherfucker? That shit is suppressing your soul, you stupid motherfucker. And then, to cap this shit off, he actually called the cops on me one day because I was over there. You know, I told you I was a dancer. And I be looking up at the sun and stuff, and I be dancing in the sun. You know, I be balancing on my one leg because they be looking at me like I'm crazy. But they don't understand that when I do that, that's because I have attained the serpent's wisdom. And when you attain the serpent's wisdom, it means inner strength, motherfucker, something that you don't have, jackass. So when he called the cops on me, I was like I said, but he talk about all that black shit, but you gonna call the cops on me and you already see I'm in the situation that I'm in, and you called the cops on me and got them to move me from that spot, and he was nasty as shit with it, cause when they came out there, he came out there with them to let me know he called them. After he dog walked the white people like that. So when they be like, oh, my people this, my people that, nah, fuck all that. Just because you got a fake ass color, motherfucker, because you got to understand. The spirit don't have no mother. The spirit ain't motherfucking black, blue, orange, none of that shit. The spirit is light. So I ain't judging you by your goddamn color, motherfucker. I'm judging you by the spirit. As they say, test the spirit by the spirit. Fuck all that color shit. Because you can have a black motherfucker you could be black just like that, and they'll be nasty as fuck with you and set your ass up in every motherfucking thing. Do spell binding work on you and some more shit. And then you could come in contact with a white motherfucker, and yeah, you may have had bad experiences with white people, but this white person could actually change that because they might not be like the white people that you have encountered thus this far. So you have to test the spirit by the spirit. You cannot go by, oh, just because they white, I'm just going to hate them, because you are basically programming yourself for a low frequency to hate something. That's a low frequency. The spirit don't know nothing about hate. So they're programming you to keep those low frequencies, to keep that black hole open. I'm telling you, I know what I know. So I had to tell y'all that, and then this phony motherfucker had the nerve and audacity. I came over there another day because I was using the Wi-Fi over there. That motherfucker had the nerve to speak to me. Bitch, after you sat there and called the police on me, you big black walrus-looking motherfucker, I don't have nothing to say to you. That'd be that phony shit that I be talking about. I don't like that shit. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. I'm not going to turn on you. I don't do shit like that. And if I do say some shit about you, you probably done some shit for me to say it. But I'm not gonna do no shit that's foul to you, not no shit like that can cause you destruction or cause you discomfort. I'm not gonna do no shit like that because I just will cut your ass off.
That's right.
So I don't have to deal with you. So this is what I be saying about reading the spirit for the spirit. You cannot go by all of that other shit. You cannot do that because you gonna get fucked up like that. Now, this is what I wanted y'all to hear this. I want y'all to hear this. This is some real shit. Now, listen to this, Lance. I want you to hear this. You listening?
Yeah, I'm listening. My power just went out, but I'm on the phone. So I'm still here.
Is everybody still in the chat?
Oh yeah, they're still here.
Okay, I want them to hear this. Okay, this is from the Holy Puranas. And when I read this to you, this is not a human. This is talking about the soul. This is not, don't look at it as a human. This is the soul. Remember I told you that the soul and the spirit sits on another dimension. It's not, your avatar is just a lag of the soul. That's it. It's like a ray of light that comes from the spirit, and when it comes into density, it splits into a prism, and that's how you get the chakras. Does that make sense? Just like when you shine a laser light on a glass pyramid, and you'll end up seeing all of the colors of the light.
Because it breaks it up.
Right. It basically fractures it. And that's how you get the avatar, the body. That's why your chakras, you can't deny the shit that I'm saying, because your mind is a chakra. Your mind is always at work all the time. Ain't you always fucking thinking? So it's constantly working all the time. It's the energy center. Your Ajna chakra is always working because you're seeing, you are perceiving things. It's about perception. So it's working. Your throat chakra is damn sure working, because I wouldn't be talking to you right now if it wasn't. That's telling you it's the energy center. Your heart is constantly working. The Adihana is always working because it's always beating. It never stops beating as long as you stay a part of this reality. And also, too, when you come in with the heart is funny because the heart shows the core of the soul. Because the heart is not a thinker. The heart is a feeler. It feels. It doesn't think. It feels. That's why when something is broached to you and it's wrong, your mind could want to do it, but you'll get that feeling in your heart that is wrong. That's the soul. That's the soul speaking to you. That's the soul. Yes. Never ignore that. Then you have your gut. Your gut digests the food. That's your, I think that's the Swadhisthana chakra or the solar plexus. That's always working. Ain't you always digesting some shit? That bitch be growling and everything. So you know something got to be working for it to be doing that. And then you got your private part, the sacral chakra. We know that works because you wouldn't be able to do none of the stuff you do if it didn't. and you got your Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. You know that because that's the whole body right there. So you can't deny this shit. So when I get ready to read this one part to you about the holy Puranas, it says, and this is exactly what happened to me. That's why nothing. Remember I told you I've never had my own shit while I was here. You remember I told you that?
Yep.
I've never had my own place while I was here. Nothing ever went right for me while I was here. Listen to this. Listen to this. What happened?
What the hell? Where's that music coming from?
Right. I'm like, what happened?
Wait, hold on a second. This is weird. As soon as you're about to say this thing, and my power went out. Hold on a second. Okay, no. Go. I'm a mute. I'm gonna mute everybody one at a time. Hold on. Okay. I just muted somebody that I think the noise was coming from. Can you hear me, Denina? Okay, yeah.
I can hear you.
Uh-huh.
So you ready for me to go?
I don't know what that was. Yes, I'm ready. Come on, for you to read share the thing.
I was like, what the hell? Okay, so this is from the whole. Yeah. This is from the Holy Puranas. And remember when I told you, I said that nothing went right for me my whole life, and I've never had my own place since I've been here. And no matter how many jobs I worked, I could never make ends meet. I always had to stay with somebody. Remember I told you that? Okay, so it says, I take away all wealth from whom I bestow my grace. When they are poor, their relatives desert them, which is what happened to me. I even render their efforts useless when they try to earn money, That's why I will not sell out and I will not prostitute. I'm not doing shit for money. Either you give it to me out of the kindness and the compassion of your heart, or I don't want it. And it says, thus being unsuccessful repeatedly, the people develop an attitude of indifference for wealth. You see, I don't care about money because I won't do anything for it. So I don't give a fuck about it. I even threw all my shit away and sold it. They begin to take shelter as my devotee. Only then I bestow my full grace on them and they receive me. That's the soul talking to you.
Yes.
That's the soul. So the soul is not motherfucking stupid, because that's exactly what happened to me. Nothing went right no matter how much I tried. So my soul never wanted me to be a part of this shit. I figured this shit out later on. So I know my shit. Trust me, I am one bitch. Can't no motherfucking battle. You stand against me and you try to debate me, I'm going to slam your motherfucking head through the concrete, because you're going to lose it. Because you can't argue with that. My whole experience mimicked that shit. And you heard what it said. When I bestow my grace on them, they won't have nothing. All their efforts will be rendered useless. This is the soul talking to you. And my whole experience went exactly like that. And then I come to figure out at the end, what happened to me at the end when my spirit screamed in my head, get him out of there. And then I went through all of those years of studying the fucking spiritual knowledge. You gonna tell me that my spirit won't run in this shit the whole time? My spirit was running my shit the whole time. So when they
even
talk
before
about
you realized it,
and the soul, when they talk about the spirit and the soul being stupid, no, bitch, yeah, if it's a weak ass motherfucking spirit, yeah, it's stupid. But not when it's strong, it ain't stupid. Because if it was stupid, how the fuck do I know all I know? And how come they couldn't program me like they program everybody else? So you heard that from the Holy Piranhas. I take that is a profound fucking statement. I take all of the wealth away from them so their family can desert them, because the soul already knows that they're disingenuous anyway. The soul knows that already. So you gonna tell me that's not a high advanced being and it already know all about this reality shit? So you got all these motherfuckers in here turning their back on their soul for some fake ass bonding. Because that's all it is just fake ass bonding, because the shit gonna end anyway. But then when you get a real motherfucker like me, I'm giving you my knowledge for free. For free. I'm giving it to you because I feel mercy on your spirit, because I know what's happening to it. That's the only reason why I do it. So that quote did not come from me. That came from the Holy Piranhas. I had to read that because I'm not the only one that's like that. That girl, what's that one, Lucid Living TV? She signed a deal with the Masonry, and she realized that she didn't want to be controlled like that. So she bucked her MK Ultra. And when she bucked her MK Ultra, they made her ass homeless, and they were trying to get rid of her like they trying to do me. So I know that this shit is real, because it's not only happening to me, it's happening to her too. And she knows this shit too. So I ain't the only one that's going through this shit. And this Holy Piranha says no love. And it reads that, and I'm going to read it again because it's just so profound. I take away all wealth from whom I bestow my grace. So when the spirit takes away all wealth, that means when you come into this reality, you're not going to have no wealth. Nothing is going to go right for you, and you will not have no business, because the spirit is not going to give you its energy for that. That's basically what it's telling you. When they are poor, their relatives desert them. So when you don't have no money and you can't give them no motherfucking currency, because that's basically what it is, because it's like feeding them your soul energy. So when you can't give them no motherfucking currency, they don't want to have shit to do with you because you can't do shit for them. So the shit is disingenuous anyway because it's not unconditional. It's conditional.
Right.
As long as you give me your spirit energy, I'll act like I love you. Because that's basically what it's saying. But if if you give me your spiritual energy, I'll act like I like you. But if you don't, fuck you. So it's
straight
not
up
real.
conditions.
It's unconditional. It's conditional. It's not real love. Is unconditional. There's no conditions as to how much I will love you. Only the soul can love you like that. That's it. You come in this reality, any relationship you have is fake. Period. I don't give a fuck what nobody says because you can't argue with the soul. This is not coming from me. This is coming from the soul, the ancient ones who knew and studied this shit way before any of us was here. So you know this shit is real. So it says, I even rendered their efforts useless when they try to earn money. So even if I was to work a job, it ain't going to last long because the soul is not going to give its energy for that. So what it'll do, I'll get fucking irritated and explode on their ass and get fired like I did all the other jobs I had. So then it says, thus being unsuccessful repeatedly, and you remember I told you I ain't never really had my own shit since I've been here, so I've been unsuccessful the whole goddamn experience. And it says the people develop an attitude of indifference for wealth. And is that not what I told you, that I don't really give a fuck about any of that? I give a fuck about your mental. You have to make love to me mentally.
Right.
Because I have to get fed mentally, because you got to understand we are mental beings. We're not a physical being. We are mental beings. Then they begin to take shelter as my devotee. So then they have to start looking in the spiritual path, and they have to look past the human experience to see what the fuck is causing all of this. If that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Okay. And then it says, only then I bestow my full grace on them and they receive me. So what that means is, then you're going to understand why your whole experience went the way that it went, and you're going to understand what caused it, which is your own soul, because your own soul would not cooperate with the fucking program, and it would not put out the energy to cooperate with it, because the soul is controlling the whole shit anyway. If your soul allowed you to do certain things, it's because your code of awareness is gone. That means your shit been set off for a long time. That is completely unaware of itself. And you know
really vulnerable.
Huh?
And extra vulnerable now.
Right.
The protection's
exactly.
gone. Yeah.
Absolutely, because the protection gone. Your shit is exposed now. So you're going to be fed off after that. So, and it says, only then will I bestow my full grace. And that means the soul is open to you for you to come back home to the spiritual realm. Because ultimately, even if your spirit don't leave this realm and you go into a black hole or your spirit combusts in the void, in other words, you're going to leave this motherfucking reality. So it's no point in you trying to worry about putting furniture in the house, bitch, when you about to move. You're not going to stay here long. It's temporary. You got to understand that. So you have to turn yourself to your soul. Your spirit and your soul is what lasts. This reality is temporary. You're not going to be here long. You don't even know when your ass going to die. The difference with me is, the beautiful thing about me is, at least I know when I'm going to die, because my spirit, my soul was controlling the whole shit. Because as you can see, nothing can really do anything to me to harm me, because if I don't let you into my realm, into my spirit, into my electromagnetic field, you can't do shit to me. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
But most motherfuckers allow different entities to come into their electromagnetic field via relationships, via family, and you have already given them a portal into your fucking field and your soul. So now, because you have basically surrendered your soul over to them, now they can fucking give you whatever type of experience they want because you gave them access to your shit.
Right.
You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to stay loyal to your soul. Fuck everything else. Your soul and your spirit is all you got. So I had to tell y'all this, and there's so much other shit that I want to tell y'all. But in order for me to do that, because like this whole show was all over the fucking place because I'm freestyling it. And Lance, you know, usually I come with my structure. I come with notes, but I can't do all that shit out here like that.
Right, but this is okay. You did excellent. And the thing is, it's almost like a recalibration with you being here now, and you just laying it all out. And then now, when you come back, it'll be where you settle in a little more and you focus more. But we were riding with you. It's not like, because remember, those who are here, especially those who are here more so now than others who fell off, they're on a high vibration. And
which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Nobody left. Everybody's still here. They're muted so they can, listen to what you're saying. So I don't know if you wanted to speak to any of the people here. They had questions for you. Just wanted to show you some love.
Absolutely. And I just, when I saw the comments, I saw the comments from the little video that I did, and I was like, that was beautiful. That was spiritually uplifting because, you have to think, Lance, I'm out here, and because I know all the spiritual knowledge and I'm in tune with my soul be talking to me mentally. I'm that in tune with it. It talks to me. It even lets me know when a motherfucker is a demon. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. I went into this restaurant across the street from this car lot that I'm sleeping in the cars in, right? And it's this girl over there, and well, we know that there's no such thing as race, but for the sake of reality, because in truth be told, it's only motherfucking black and white, the black boy and the light, and that's it. But for the sake of reality, she was a Hispanic bitch, and she's a pretty girl, mother body, but she's a pretty girl, and she was like. When I come in there, she get an attitude with me and shit, and I just be like, you can feel the fucking bad energy come from her. You can feel it because it makes me uneasy. So I know it's a negative energy in there because we're pushing away like magnets. Like when you put a magnet with a different polarity and they push away from each other.
They push away.
Right. So that's why I know her energy is the opposite of mine. So I'm like, okay, this bitch is a demon. So when I came in there the other night, the bitch was in there and she be nasty to me. I asked the bitch for some ice, right? I got a big ass thermos cup, and this bitch gonna fill this shit like 3/4 of ice. I'm like, bitch, as big as that cup is, and ice, the bitch, that shit should be free. The fuck you doing? And I come in there all the time. So I was right about what I said about this bitch energy. This bitch don't like my energy. Clearly, the bitch is demon. Clearly. So, and the thing is, she pretty though. So you gotta watch that shit. When a motherfucker looks a certain way, that bitch could be a whole demon. And I'm gonna tell you how I know this bitch is demon. Because this bitch was sitting in front of this dude that come in there all the time. His big, fat, sweaty ass. He come in there all the time. And this motherfucker in there buying a beer all the time and fucking alcohol. I said, this motherfucker don't even know that motherfucker is on Al Ghul, drinking motherfucking dead, negative ass spirits to be possessed. And this bitch was all in his motherfucking face. So they fucking match with each other's frequency because the bitch a demon like him. I read that shit on the spiritual level, bitch, you ain't getting over on me. And if that bitch would have said, I would have cussed that bitch out. I was waiting for her to say something to me because I was cool with her. And I come in there very nice and respectful. But her energy, she's the only one that does that shit to me. She's the only one. So it's something about my energy field that disturbs hers.
Yeah. But like I always say, I say these demons have the gift of discernment also from the negative side. They can see your light. They can see your power.
Hell yeah, right. Damn right. They know
They
because
they
they
can see
scared
it
of the
even
light.
better.
They scared of
Right.
the light. That's why the light
It
bothers them.
scares them. Right. Right.
It
Right.
fucks with their frequency because the light is gonna be stronger than a spirit that don't have no soul. A spirit that don't have no soul don't have no compassion or empathy. That's a spirit that don't have no light. You got to think, I've been out here for 7 months, and I only can remember a couple of motherfuckers who actually helped me and tried to do something for me where they was actually memorable.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the average motherfucker will walk right past you and
Well,
see
let me
you
just
out
tell
there.
you. Yeah, let me tell you. A few people have asked for your Cash App, and an offer was made that if you can come by them, that you can come live with them right on the show here. I'm just telling you that. That was in the chat room on the site. So
That's
we're gonna
beautiful. That's
connect
beautiful.
you. We're gonna connect you with them. And like I said, if anybody wants to, like, so many people here.
They want to kill me the fuck off because I know too fucking much.
That's the way it is, though.
I know my shit. If I can break this shit down like that, I ain't no motherfucking joke. I know my shit, and I wouldn't dare come and stay with nobody and don't do my part because I understand it's an energy exchange as well. I would do what I can to help out because I got plenty of motherfucking skills. I ain't no goddamn dummy.
Oh yeah. But it's a very tranquil country, peaceful, away from all the bull crap. I'm telling you, I'm gonna connect you both
I have a
privately.
new email. I got a new email, Lance. You need to take this down.
Yeah.
Because
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Let me I can't believe it. As the storm was leaving, that's when it knocked the power out. I'm like, damn. But I'm ready for that. And
when
I'm on the phone to get through.
It always gotta happen when I come on. It never fails.
Okay, give it to me. Give it to me.
Okay, it's Q as in Queen, U as in umbrella, A as in apple, N as in Nancy, T as in teeth, U as in umbrella,
M, I know it's gonna be M after that.
Yep, M as in messy, S as in snake, E as in elephant, I as in igloo. Okay, SENSEI. You got that so far? So it's Quantum Sensei. SENSEI.
Okay, SENSEI. Okay, I got that part now. Yeah.
1982 at gmail.com.
1982 at Gmail. Okay.
Right. And you got my number.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm gonna share your number and your email with this wonderful individual who is here right now. I just want to do it publicly because people might hear the broadcast when I put it up.
And as far as the Cash App, I don't have one, and I used to have a PayPal, but I'm locked out of the other email, so I can't even get that information. I have to call Gmail to open that up and get in contact with them somewhere to try to open it up because a lot of my pictures of my food and my portfolio was in there.
Right. Well, I'm gonna find a way to do that, and I'll see because there's that disconnect of getting it to you, but I'm gonna find a way to do that down to where you are. We're gonna find a way to get some. Yeah.
Please,
we're gonna find that way.
Listen, I'm about to tip this fuck over at any day. I'm telling you. I wouldn't even want to show you how horrible I look. The side of my goddamn face, and Lance, and you didn't see some of the pictures I done sent you. You know damn well I take very good care of myself. You know I ain't no dirty motherfucker. So
and also too, I have to say that your face is very striking. You have very chiseled features and strong eyes. It's a very interesting face that
you can't forget. And even as I am now, I look fucked up now to me because this is not the way I would normally be, and I know that.
Right, but that's to
most
you though.
people,
You know what I mean?
but
Yeah.
most
No, but
people, I'm about to tell you, most people that, because it's this lady named Miss Mary, she works in a shelter. She's trying to aid me to get into a shelter, and she said, "I seen you out there with them." And she said, "I'm looking at you like, I don't know why the hell you even out here. You don't even belong out here." She was like, "But the reason why I remembered you is because of them eyes."
yeah. No, your eyes can pierce through concrete.
That's why I said
You
they
don't
look
forget
like
that.
fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You scare the crap out of people that are not right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
What you say? I didn't hear that.
No, I said you'll scare the crap out of people who ain't right with themselves.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so I'm going to say it on the show. Like I said in the private conversation, I was messed up. I said, "Oh my God, maybe I'm a demon. Maybe Sister Denina saw something in me," and she said, "I ain't gonna mess with him no more." When I heard you call, I'm like, "Oh man, I guess I'm in good graces." Yeah, because people like you're not gonna cut no corners.
And no, Lance, I was going through some shit, honey.
But this is what I want to do.
Do you know they done stole my goddamn? That ain't the only thing they stole from me. I had a fucking suitcase out here that I was, taking with me with some clothes in it and my hygiene shit. They stole that shit from me too. I had that shit locked up. They broke the motherfucking lock off that bitch and broke the handle and took that. And I was, I'm a writer, so I had a thick ass journal that I was writing about this matrix because I like to write my ideas down. Because I was planning on calling you and contacting you. They just took my goddamn journal. So that's why the show is all over the motherfucking place, because I don't have nowhere to calmly sit down in peace and actually get my thoughts. And I'm going to tell you something too. Them motherfuckers are so nasty. They purposely did this shit on purpose. Their plan was, because they knew I had all them books. You remember all those books I showed you that I had? They knew that when they made me homeless, they knew that I would have nowhere to put those motherfucking books, so I ain't had no choice but to get rid of them. So the books that I took, they stole some of my books out my suitcase. And you remember I told you the books that I written, I had them in an abandoned house. Because out of all of this shit that I took, I made sure I took them goddamn books, the books that I could carry. Because the knowledge is power. Fuck all the rest of that shit. And so they knew that if I ain't had nowhere to put this shit, it's like, bitch, you gonna lose that knowledge. And after a while, you'll come right back to the matrix, bitch, and you'll be programmed in here because you ain't got the knowledge no more. Nah, bitch, you got the wrong bitch for that. Baby, I erased all of that other shit and kept this spiritual shit. Because you got to remember, we like quantum computers. You know how you can delete programs and uninstall shit? All that other bullshit, uninstall and delete it. And the spiritual shit is kept within the files and the documents.
Amazing.
So I wanted to let y'all know because I want y'all to be motherfucking free. If you gonna have motherfucking reality, then everybody need to do just like motherfucking Lady, what's her name, Lady 7 said. Get these motherfuckers out of motherfucking power and put the motherfuckers in the seat that need to be in the seat and make sure that they spiritually aware of themselves. Because if they ain't spiritually aware of themselves, they're gonna fuck you over.
Big time.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to open up the lines so they can show you some love. But there's so many lines open. I just want everybody to be a little hesitant to talk, even when they do open the lines, so we don't flood out and talk over each other. So just let's open up our lines and one at a time, let's just show Sister Denina some love. Just rap with her because you won't believe the amount of people who are listening this whole time. Oh, let me just call out a name. Let me see who's, because I'm on my laptop that has a battery that's diminishing, so it's not gonna last. And I'm on the phone too, but the phone is how I'm on the show now. The laptop is just laptop. I was on the chat room on the site, which I'm gonna sign off of that. And let's see. And with the numbers that I have here, there are no names next to it, so there are a few numbers that I don't know that are new. But if Master Glam is here, Mixed Genre, Landon Price, whoever, the regular folks.
Oh,
Y'all
and
open
Chuck.
up.
We following suit, and we showing support.
Well, I am so glad that y'all are here, and I had to do this show because I wanted y'all to know I was not motherfucking capping, because I'm not going to sit there and waste somebody's time, because that will bother my soul. That would disturb my soul for me to lie to y'all. My soul is not going to let me do that.
Right.
I have a very strict soul. That's why you think I'm homeless, because my soul will not allow me to do nothing that goes against the soul. It's just that type. And these motherfuckers, the motherfuckers that's running this shit, they are pure evil. They are fucking pure evil. Because if you can sit there and see all these people suffering like this, and you got this shit running like this based off suffering, you have to question that shit. What else? What is the cause of the suffering? Why do people need to suffer when plants grow free? So should nobody be fucking paying for food? And you got all these motherfucking apartments out here that is empty and homes, and ain't nobody staying in them, but it's a bunch of motherfucking homeless people on the street.
That's crazy.
That shit is crazy. That shit is insanity. It's insanity. And I just be looking at the taxpayers because, for real, it's just like Lady Seven said. Bitch, the taxpayers is your motherfucking boss. You ain't supposed to be fucking taking their motherfucking money and doing what the fuck you want to do with it. They supposed to be telling you, bitch, this is what we want. This is what the fuck we expect. And bitch, you better be done or your ass is out. Straight up. Because the shit is ridiculous. It's just way too, look. Some of the motherfuckers, some people that's homeless, they want to be homeless. But then you got some people like me. I'm not an outdoors type. I'm not. Because I don't like the fucking bugs. And I don't like that sun beating on me like that. That shit makes you sweat. And you know when you sweat, that shit start to stink. I'm just being honest.
Oh, no, so you're right. It's true.
So
I shower several times a day out here. It's so hot. Let me just say, I heard Sister Oyala there. If you want to say something to Sister Denina.
Absolutely. I'm right here.
I know your voice, Oyala. I know Oyala's voice.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna cut in two. So, like
all the way from Canada.
Yeah. Well, she's probably in that situation is because she opens her mouth. She knows what's up. You know, when you open your mouth, I've been through it. Look, I've been through that. I was homeless once. Yes, I went through homeless too. I opened my mouth because I got real bold with people, and no one liked it. They started taking me.
You know why they don't like it? You know why they don't like it? Because that's the light you have. The truth is the light. When you don't tell the truth, you suppress the light. You cannot do that because that goes against your soul.
Yeah, I was kicked out of my house. People were calling me crazy. Everything. I went through that shit too. And I realized when you open your fucking mouth, they don't like it. They don't.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if they don't like it or not. I'm one that listen. I want this shit to change, and so guess what? If I got to be a loud, nasty bitch to do it, then it is what it is. I'm gonna be at least my truth. It comes out nasty because I'm defensive because of the shit I've been through. But nonetheless, it's the truth. Because I'm not about to sit up there and lie. Because I'm not going to suppress the truth just because a demonic motherfucking consciousness don't like the truth. That's your fucking fault. You darken out your own motherfucking soul. I didn't do that. You did that shit to yourself, motherfucker. You got to deal with that on your own. You're not going to make me feel like I'm less than, bitch, because you want to be in your ego. Fuck that. And fuck your ego, too. That's why they don't like me. He told me when I was leaving, he said, the thing about you is that you dig too motherfucking deep. That's the thing. You motherfucking right, I'm a dig motherfucker, because if you thought that I wasn't going to dig, then bitch, you shouldn't have had me here. Why would you put me in some shit and you just think I'm going to be dumb enough to accept that shit? Are you fucking crazy? Bitch, I wasn't experiencing none of this shit before, so you got that right. I'm going to dig on it. And I'm going to dig into that bitch until I can't find nothing else. And when everything comes full circle, then I'll stop digging. And that's why they like, we're going to get this bitch up out of here. Them motherfuckers can't stand me. If they spiritually attacking my ass even while I'm homeless, you know they don't like me. So I promise, while I'm here, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I'm still going to tell y'all the real shit because all of y'all deserve to be free. The motherfuckers that want to stay in bondage, that's on them. And if the reality is going to go, or if it's going to stay, then it needs to change. Because guess what? Y'all are powering this shit. These motherfucking parasites, that they just feeding off y'all fucking soul energy. Y'all don't have to put up with that shit and let somebody else feed off you. Just because they motherfucking dead, that's their fucking fault. Let them die. Because they ain't got no soul energy no motherfucking way. They're incapable of giving. They just take. And if you're not making an energy exchange, then that's not a fair energy exchange. You're not supposed to be here. That means, bitch, you don't have no energy to power reality, so why the fuck are you here? That's the way I look at it, because it's like, I'm not here to be powering this shit for nobody else to have no motherfucking reality based off me, and then I ain't getting shit from this shit, and these motherfuckers sitting here got the nerve to be rich. It's a motherfucking white man where I be going at. The place where the Italian guy, you know, he done bought me a bus pass because I got to get a damn bus pass just to go over there and take a goddamn shower. That shit is ridiculous. And then I'm hearing him in there talking, and he was like, he says, yeah, because, motherfucker, if you don't do this and do that, I'll just sue your ass. And I was like, I said, this motherfucker nasty. I said, that's a whole demon. That motherfucker in there talking all that shit. And the only reason why you even in that place, bitch, is because most of the spirits are unaware of yourself. Bitch, if they became aware of yourself, bitch, you wouldn't have that reality. You wouldn't have that reality. That's based off everybody else suffering. I don't be saying shit because I know that they don't know the spiritual. And as soon as they come at me with that God shit, I be like, I get disinterested because it's like, how can you sit here and say that God is this and God is that, but you got a homeless motherfucker right in front of your face that is completely sane and smart as a motherfucker. And so God is not favoring that, but he can favor a demonic entity like this motherfucker, but one that does not drink, don't do drugs, because I've told the cops this numerous times. I don't drink. My spirit won't even let me intake that shit because I'll vomit. I don't even drink liquor. I don't even like the smell of that shit. And if I do drink wine, I can't drink the red wine because I have 2 glasses of that. I'll vomit. I can only drink the pink kind, and I can't have too many glasses of that. But I ain't never done no drugs except for weed, and that's it. Never. I've never done no other drugs except for weed. That's it. So the system can fucking... A motherfucker that's a drunk and a drug addict, they can fucking get all the help. But a motherfucker like me can't get no help. That shit crazy as fuck. That's why you know this whole system is inverted. The whole system inverted. It's also that the light can suffer. So the good can suffer and the evil can thrive. That's how this shit works. That's why when they be sitting up here praising them gods, I be like, you just don't know how evil them motherfuckers really are. You don't know their true nature. Them motherfuckers evil as shit. And they don't give a fuck about nobody, because all they thinking about doing is surviving. They know that their consciousness is already black. They want to keep you stuck here because they stuck here. They can't go back to the star space because they have to feed off consciousness. You can't exist like that in the star space, because in the star space, you have to pilot your own motherfucking spirit. You can't feed off no other spirit there. That's why when you when you go to sleep and you dream, that's why those dreams collapse quick. You can't do that shit in the star space. You can only do that shit in density. You can't do it in the star space. And they know that. That's why they're desperate to keep this shit going. I want this spirit to be liberated. If you're going to have this reality, then take control of this shit and kick their ass the fuck out of this shit and let their ass die. Because that's what they wish for you by them feeding off your damn soul energy. They don't give a fuck if you die, because they know that body don't mean shit, but they killing your soul.
Wow.
So if anybody has any questions, I'm all ears.
Master Glamour, you still on? Let me see. I think she's still on. We got a whole crap load of people, and be considerate that other people want to talk to. So, and who's here? I see a bunch of numbers. I know some of the numbers, but you know, you got everybody like a deer in the headlights to digest this. You know, when you go to get a good meal, I mean, I know it may be something you're disconnected from, but you ain't gonna eat it too quick if it's
real good. You want to savor it.
Exactly.
No, I know, and I know they also know that they've been looking on YouTube, and they know don't nobody come and bring it like I do. I keep that shit raw. Because, like I said, it ain't about it's not about money. It's really supposed to be about compassion and empathy. If you don't have that, your soul is gone. You're a soulless being. There is no soul there. And everybody's defenses are so up in this shit because it's ran off low frequencies. You gotta be defensive in here. But that's where discernment come in at. You have to be able to discern and read the energy. If you got a truthful motherfucker like me, what the fuck? Just like this lady. She was telling me, well, I will let you stay with me, but such and such this. I'm like, girl, listen, if you got to make up all these excuses, I don't even want it. Like, it ain't, look, I'd rather die up out of here and motherfucking be done with it. My thing is, because she's completely unaware herself, she doesn't realize what she's talking to. She can't read a pure energy. She can't read a positive, truthful spirit because she don't understand energy. A real pure spirit is not going to lie to you. They can't lie because you wouldn't be pure spirit if you lie. You wouldn't be holy if you lied. Because that's really what holy means. That's why I come out and say everything the way I say it, because when you hold shit in, it weighs down the spirit, and the spirit is supposed to be light at all times because that's where it comes from. The more shit you hold in, the more you weigh your soul down. You will never get out of this bitch like that. Your soul got to be weightless as a feather to get out of here. Why you think they tell you in the Bible, or when the scales of my eye weigh you, your heart got to be light as a feather? The heart means the soul. Basically, that's the core of the atom, the heart.
Hello.
I don't want to die of emotional constipation. I want to get all this stuff.
Because your emotions is energy in motion. So if you keep all that in, your spirit is weighed down. It's heavy.
Right.
Can I add something? And you pointed out something too, not only in the streets where it's real, even when you get accepted into people's homes. Because like a lot of us experience, oh yeah, you can come this, that, then the third, or you can come and it's a lot of stipulations to it, which like you basically saying, I might as well not even get into this because by the time I do, you're going to be showing me the door again, especially when I get settled in. I experienced all type of stuff like that.
Well, see, that is true. That definitely is true. But see, the thing with me is I'm already at the point where I'm about to release my soul anyway. I don't have the extra baggage that I used to have. I got rid of all of that shit. I threw all my shit away, and the jewelry I sold and some of my designer shit I burned like 2 pairs of my Gucci shoes. I burned them bitches. So they were brand new, and I didn't want nobody else to have them because I ain't even get a chance to wear them, so I burned them.
But I heard that's what you're supposed to do anyway. Like,
yeah, you're releasing the energy. I was the one that picked it out. It's my style, and it's my shit. The way I don't own that energy, but I was the one picked it out. I picked it out for a reason. So it has a signature of my energy on it. So I burned it.
Right. So this is what I heard, that when a person, because a lot of us don't know when we're going to transition, but when you know, or even if you have somebody in your circle that has, you're supposed to take their clothes and scatter them and burn them, because it's going to hold them back. Like they say, and I'm not sure, I'm researching it, but they say it's about 9 days before they leave. And if you don't get rid of their stuff that they're attached to, it's going to hold them back somewhat. So,
and that's why you think, and I can prove that, why you think I came back there to his ass to get rid of this shit myself. That's why I did it.
Right.
Because I wouldn't feel right if he gave my shit to somebody else, because that shit, some of that shit I had for years.
Mm-hmm.
So that shit has my energy on it. And because the shit went sour with me and him, it didn't go sour. See, my shit was real funny because I had a spiritual awakening when my soul screamed in my head. That's how it, because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be in this predicament I'm in now. And when I tell people that, they be looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. But that's really what happened. You see, my story has not changed. And you can tell it's the truth, because ever since then, I've been talking nothing but about the spiritual.
That's all you've been talking about. You know what I mean?
I didn't even have an experience like this. Now, you remember I told you that they used to try me a lot because I was little, and because, you know, I looked a certain way, they think they can fucking try me all the time. Because I used to get picked on a lot. They used to fucking chase me and everything. And I told you this until I became the motherfucking huntress, till I started fucking hunting them down one-on-one, fucking them up one-on-one, because I got tired of that shit. So it was one time in New York when I was living in New York, and I don't know if y'all ever seen Enter the Last Dragon with Tamik.
Tamik, yeah.
Okay. Now he says in there, he says that it's a higher level, and it's a point to where you go where the soul combines with the mind and it becomes one. And it's a lot of shit you can do with the spirit when the spirit attached to the body and it connects with the mind and it's one. I experienced that shit my damn self. That's why I don't doubt the spirit at all. I give all, my avatar don't mean a motherfucking thing. I give all the praise to the Holy Ruach. All the praise, because there was one experience that I had. It was this man, I'll never forget this shit. He was saying all types of shit to me and just being real rude, and I called him a punk bitch in front of his girlfriend, and he was nasty. And she was a black guy. He was big as shit and muscular. Mm-hmm. And I was in New York, and you know how New York is. They got all those alleyways and shit, and they like brick walls and shit, and you can't escape if you get caught in the alleyway.
You're right.
So I was backed up in a corner, and I was in one of those tight-ass alleyways, and I used to do shows in New York, and I used to wear those chains on my. So you remember how Sierra used to wear her chains on her pants? I would do my show, and I would wear some of my chains on my pants like that. And I had a gold one on this day, and it was a thick one too. And he fucking came over there, and he fucking got in my face. This motherfucker is like 6'2" and muscular, and I'm skinny and shit. I'm already little. So this motherfucker came over there, and he got all in my face and telling me what he was gonna do to me, and I was like, boy, you better get your punk ass out my face. And he reared up at me like he was gonna hit me, and I punched his ass in the face because you was too fucking close, and I cut his ass in the lip when I hit him in the face. My fist cut him. That motherfucker went in the goddamn place and brought a motherfucking pool stick out. And he was holding that shit from the skinny end, so he would hit me with the fat end. Oh, yes. I remember this shit. And I was in a corner, so he had the fat end over my head. Lance, I lie to you not. I promise you, I put this on everything I motherfucking love. If I so lie, my soul can take me now. That motherfucker held that pool stick over my head. And I didn't really know what the fuck to do, to be honest, because I'm cornered, and this motherfucker holding a weapon up against me. Lance, all I can tell you is that I blacked the fuck out, and I was not the Denina you talking to right now, I was not that person. The soul took the fuck over, and when he went to hit me with that pool stick, my arm went up somehow, because I know damn well I didn't do it. I know I was possessed by the Holy Spirit then, and it blocked his hit. I blocked his hit with my arm. After that, he ain't getting no more motherfucking hits after that. I fucked him up. I mean, I literally jumped off the motherfucker. I was so motherfucking furious. I jumped off the wall. Had enough time to wrap the chain around my motherfucking fist while I jumped from the wall and punched his ass in his face like 3 times. I unraveled that shit so quick, I beat his ass like a motherfucking slave. And if they didn't get him out of there, I would have killed him, because I kept hitting him with that chain. And all you could see was blood and shit. And they had to hurry up and get him out of there, because I would have ended up killing him, because I would have kept hitting him.
Damn.
That's why you can't fuck with me, because I'm a fucking hyper energy. I don't know when to stop. You can't do that shit with me. And once you violate me, you can't take that shit back, because it's too late. Because he started that shit. So I know when he talked about the Holy Spirit taking over, it took over me. I ain't never jumped off no motherfucking wall before. So you know damn well that wasn't me doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Spirit doing it. And when they showed you when they showed you the last dragon, his spirit took over when he started glowing. So that shit is true. That's why they made a movie about it. That shit is real, because I experienced it.
And a friend of mine that was in that movie, there's a short scene. He looked like a fat white guy, but he was a power lifter. He used to call him Tiny. His name was Gary Abrahamian. You'll see him in the credits of that movie. Just to throw that.
Just as you talking to me, you know I'm in a car lot, and I ain't supposed to be out here. The fucking police rode past me. Now, you know that's a bot, don't you?
Mm-hmm. You can find the most tranquil place, and they'll always find a way.
Mm-hmm. I told you, because this shit, the whole fucking shit is filled with them. They're fucking parasites. The whole shit is filled. Why do you think the police come over there to you, and they always, when they come over there to you, they want their presence to put fear in you?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's for. They want their presence to put fear in you, because if you fear, they feed off of that.
See that?
I told the motherfucking cop. He told me when I was talking to him about the spirit, he was a black guy, and he was like, I said, well, I don't believe in motherfucking God. I believe in my own soul. Bitch, God ain't done nothing for me, but my own soul has. So I believe in my own soul. And then when I told him, I said, well, I'm going back to the motherfucking astral plane soon, so I don't know what you over here telling me I can't be over here for. He told me something. Don't let nobody hear you talk about that, because you know they can put you in a mental asylum. I looked at him, I said, bitch, ain't nobody gonna do a motherfucking thing to me, motherfucker. Right. I don't know who the fuck you think you talking to like that. And I straight told him, I don't give a fuck if you a cop or not. He was like, well, it can happen. I said, well, do you want to get fucked up?
Right.
I straight told him that, motherfucker, you're not gonna do a motherfucking thing. You don't have bitch, you can't make my energy, bitch. The fuck wrong with you? They be really thinking. I'm telling you, this is how ignorant the spirit. A lot of us are spiritually ignorant, because they really think they had a right to talk to you like that. Bitch, you not talking to me like that.
He was trying to railroad you, right? Because he can't.
And it ain't happen.
But see, he can't do that from what you said, because there's nothing in the law that addresses that directly, and that's Florida. So I know how they do, because I was in those academies. What they want to do is have you see, he messed up in trying to railroad you, saying, well, if you're talking like that, no, you can say anything you want. But only thing that they can railroad you in is if they can say, oh, how are you feeling? Do you feel like you want to do harm to yourself? Do you feel like you want to kill yourself? See, when they start saying that, if a person says yes.
Well, I did tell him, I was like, well, I'll be dying here soon. And I guess he thought, well, that could get you put in, because it's like, you suicidal. No, bitch, it's spiritual. I know what this shit really is.
Right, because then they need to go into the so-called houses of worship. When they say, well, when I die and go to heaven, it's a whole different thing than what you're saying. Then you lock them up too. It's called doing the Baker Act. They want a Baker Act. you, you know, and that's a way now to try to come at you and use force if they get you to say that.
Right.
You know, so if you say, no, I'm of sane mind, you understand? There's nothing wrong with me, and this is how I feel. I'm not trying to kill myself, but we all gonna die. So you gonna Baker Act everybody? You know what I mean?
And like I told him, you can't put all the motherfucking homeless people in jail. You ain't got the funds to do that because there ain't enough energy to go around to do that. So you ain't gonna be able to do that either. And like I told him because it was one night I had went to a church and I was sleeping over there because they had this little table thing out there, and I just put the chairs together and I slept on that. And the fucking people came. I ain't never seen no motherfucking church open at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. I've never seen that. But it happened that night. And when they came over there, they fucking made me move from there. I'm like, I thought you were supposed to get sanctuary at churches. That motherfucker threw my shit in the trash. I was like, I said, boy, these motherfuckers ain't nothing but devils. And they sitting up there and they taking the people's money and ain't got no bit of compassion or empathy in their heart at all. So completely gone. So you can't tell me that I don't know that this shit is evil. Bullshit, this shit is pure evil.
And then, excuse me, and then it goes back to what you said. It goes down to the soul. The bottom line is saving souls. Like you were talking about their job. That's supposed to be their occupation, saving souls. We ain't really worried about the occupation. We worry about saving our souls and spreading the word for others can do the same thing. But like you said, that's what it comes down to. And eternity, we know everything. We know it's transition. Ain't no dying around here. We know it's transition.
Absolutely. Well, if you have a soul, if your soul blacked out, because energy can be destroyed. They lied when they said that, because I'm gonna tell you, if you don't have no soul and when this reality over, you have to think you already are programmed. So you program on family, you program on friends, you program on working, you program on money. You can't get none of that shit out in the void. So what the fuck do you think is gonna happen when your spirit is that program and that's all that's running on your spirit is that program, and when you die, ain't none of that shit around, God ain't around, and it's just pure bliss and darkness and the lights of the other consciousness, you ain't gonna know what the fuck is going on. What you think the spirit gonna do? That bitch gonna start vibrating like a motherfucker because it doesn't know what the fuck is going on. No, energy can be destroyed because when that happens, your shit is gonna combust, and your consciousness that once was is gonna break down into smaller particles, and you will not be that consciousness anymore. Your shit gonna break down into subatomic particles and molecules, and they will go on to form another consciousness. That's what's gonna happen if you don't understand and become aware of yourself, because that's what this experience is supposed to do for you, to make the Christ rise so the Christ can be aware of itself. That's what it's supposed to do. You're not supposed to come here to get into all of these fucking programs. Now, if you come in contact with a consciousness that is good energy for you, that's a whole nother thing. But they can't just say it. It has to be shown. If that makes sense to you. Because saying it and putting action to it is two different things.
That's right.
But you're supposed to come here, and if you're going to deal with anybody, they're supposed to be able to feed you mentally. Because you got to understand, you are a mental being. You're not a physical being. The physical shit can't do nothing for you. The money, the houses, the cars is just an illusion. Eventually, your ass is going to die. And when you die, everything that you thought was real will no longer be real anymore. So
Right.
you have to come here to be aware of yourself, period. Because
Right.
you're gonna go back to the cosmos anyway.
Right. And also, I was gonna say too, when you so-called die, it doesn't go with you, and none of it.
No.
You can't take it with you. There's your proof, and your body gets left behind. There's your
Thank
proof
you.
right there. So if
It
anybody's
don't
gonna
mean
ask,
shit. That's why I keep trying to tell them it doesn't mean shit, because when you die, everything that you thought was real will no longer be. Bitch, you don't even own your body. That's not even yours.
Right. Gets left behind. You can't take the car, house, none of it. It's all left behind.
Girl, these people out here are nasty as hell. They are nasty. They won't even let you. They know you homeless. And see, they don't understand why I'm homeless. They looking at me like I'm just another drunk, or I'm a bum, or I'm a drug addict. No, bitch. I'm homeless because I know too goddamn much. And when you know too much, they kill you off because you are a threat to their system, because I'm a virus in their system. Because their system is ran off low frequencies. That's why when they bring you here, they have to program you with being a human, having a family and all that shit. Your spirit did not come with none of that shit, and it ain't going to leave with none of it. So you have to understand, if you existed before creation and you're going to exist after creation, then what the fuck is creation? Creation is limbo. That means your ass is stagnant. You're stuck. You're not moving. So you're in limbo. You're in purgatory. And when the energy does not move, the energy dies, because the energy starts vibrating all its life force out. That's what this reality does to you. It's a black hole. If you know anything about black holes destroy energy, because it rips them apart. And that's exactly what this shit does to you. That's why you experience all those badass experiences that you have. They don't want you to be, the high vibrational ones like us, they try to separate us from everybody. Because we usually have good energy. And their feel is bad energy. And I'm gonna tell you how I had a conversation with a guy yesterday. And because I be talking to the homeless people, because I'm researching them as well, because I be wanting to point clues and, put it in my archive of my information to, self-affirm things. And so he told me yesterday he had a girlfriend, and I'm like, and she get drunk all the time, her ass possessed, and he don't even realize this, and he get drunk too. And he telling me all about his girlfriend and shit. I'm just listening to him. I'm just saying to myself, I'm like, this motherfucker sitting up here telling me about a girlfriend. He don't even realize, motherfucker, you can't take that bitch with you when you leave here. And the fact that she is unaware herself, she damn sure ain't doing you no goddamn good. She can't feed you mentally. So she's just a dead weight on you, and you don't even realize that. But I let him talk, and he was telling me, he was like, because I've been out here homeless. I've been out here for 5 years with her, and my mama tell me to come home all the time. I said, you need to go home and leave her drunk ass out here, because she sat up here and she with another dude, and he sitting up there looking crazy while she with another dude, and his mama is telling him to come home. I'm like, so you gonna deny what your mother said, and she's giving you a place to stay, and you gonna fucking avoid that to be with her, and this bitch just want to fuck around on you and basically use you for what she can get and go to the next nigga and use you to get drunk and to stay out here to protect her while she homeless. Like, that's crazy as fuck. And I told him, I said, you need to carry your ass home with your mom, and that's she's right. opening her doors to you. She cares about you because she's actually putting forth the energy and the action to show you that she cares. You need to go home. He told me, he said, you're a smart one. He was like, you really do have good energy. Oh, motherfucker, you ain't got to tell me that. I already know that. You don't have to tell me that. I already know that. Motherfucker, I can create out of nothing. I am a literal real cook. I can cook your motherfucking ass to me, and my motherfucking energy so good that shit'll last you all day. And Lance, I didn't show you those pictures. I'm a decadent cook.
I was about to eat them pictures.
So And I put my foot in that shit because I put love in my food, because to me, it's tranquil to me. I get tranquility out of it. And when I do it, and others enjoy it, I get fulfillment out of that because I know my shit is everything. I know. That's why them motherfuckers made me homeless, because it making me homeless is to try to make me vibrate low. That's why they did it. But you're not gonna make, as you can see, that shit ain't work. It empowered me even more. My thing is that before I leave here, I want y'all to be aware of this shit, because when the real lights leave like me, and y'all ain't got this motherfucking information, y'all ass gonna be doomed. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. That shit what they trying to do, what Lady 7 said, where they trying to make everything go digital, y'all gonna be fucked. Because if they do that, you ain't gonna be able to control shit.
That's right.
You do one wrong thing and you're done. They gonna cut off everything from you.
And you be trapped in the 15-minute cities and the money. Like, if you violated somehow, they gonna take that digital money. Like, they gonna If they see you on social media saying certain things and they want to penalize you, they're gonna take that money.
You seen that from my situation. When I was doing shows with you saw where I ended up at.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to you in a goddamn car, so you know.
Mm-hmm. We already got these.
So I'm living proof of the shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they do. So take my situation and learn from it, because they're doing this shit. And it just goes to show you how evil this system is. Because why you got to get penalized for telling the truth? So the Holy Spirit ain't motherfucking real, even though it's in the goddamn Bible, that you want everybody to be programmed and believe? You can't be a motherfucking Holy Spirit and a human at the same time. You can't be both. So, motherfucker, which one is it? Make up your mind. You can't be both. Because this is the reason why you can't be both. You existed before this reality, because creation came after the primordial energy. Way after. The primordial energy is antediluvian. It came before all of this bullshit creation shit. And when you die, the energy still exists for those that ain't fucking lost their souls and ain't lost their self in this shit. They still exist and they still have their consciousness intact. So if you still exist before creation and after creation, then what the fuck is creation useful for? Other than keeping the soul and spirit in bondage. That's why they fucking done me the way they done me, because when it's just like the young lady said, when you start speaking the motherfucking truth, they hate your motherfucking ass for that, because the truth ain't in them. This shit has been created based off deception. Period. The whole shit came into being based off deception. So you can't go against the vibration that's already set in here, because you fucking disrupt their system. It's based off lies. Then they tell y'all that the devil was the greatest liar. They ain't lie. That motherfucker is evil as shit. Ain't no goodness in that bitch at all. Do you know that them motherfuckers be fucking killing children and shit, and they fucking be conjuring up demons when they make that blood sacrifice? They be conjuring up negative entities and shit when something is sacrificed. They do fucking rituals on this shit all the time. All the time. And those celebrities, them motherfuckers ain't nothing but demons. When they do those concerts, that shit is all a ritual. That's all it is. It's a fucking ritual being done. This shit is evil. Motherfuckers need to wake up. Because the shit is evil. Your soul is begging and pleading with you the whole time. But because you are so unaware of yourself, you ignore the soul. The soul is not going to lie to you. It can't, because it would be deceiving itself, and it's not going to do that. When it already sits on another dimension from your lag avatar. It's sitting right out there in the fucking void. Don't you think it know what the fuck it is, and it's sitting right out there? It knows it's not none of this shit. It knows that. And a lot of these consciousness that's here, They are nothing but clones of that demon in Leo. It's clones of that demon. That's why when you see cops and shit and they be nasty and all of that, because sometimes they don't even have to be as nasty as they are, but they want to enforce fear. And the reason why a motherfucker want to enforce fear on you is because them motherfuckers is scared. Because he knows, that entity knows that motherfucker could die at any second. Because the minute the energy is taken away from that bitch is dead. A parasite lifespan is very short. I've told y'all this shit numerous times. That motherfucker is living off y'all soul energy, period. You supposed to be giving that energy to your own soul, not a motherfucker outside your soul.
But that's just like a mosquito. When they bite you up and get full of blood, they go chill somewhere and die right after. Ain't that something?
Mm-hmm. They're parasites. That's why I'm saying the whole fucking reality field when I'm with. Do you think, man, I have to sit up here, I have to cover up, I wear motherfucking hoodies, I wear shirts under the hoodies, I wear motherfucking gloves. I don't want no fucking biting me. Because I know what they are. They are fucking negative entity. I don't want you fucking feeding off me. Fuck that. I didn't come here to be your goddamn food. Bitch, I don't even know you. It's a difference if I actually know you and, you know, I got some type of relationship with you, then I don't mind fucking with you because I fuck with you. But, bitch, I don't fucking know you. You ain't supposed to be fucking biting me. That's like me going on the street and biting a motherfucker on the arm. It's
You're right.
the same thing. So I am definitely targeted because I know this shit. I know who them motherfuckers are, and I know their whole motherfucking game plan. And so I would be dangerous. That's why they're trying to desperately get rid of my ass, because it's like, we cannot have this bitch around. This bitch is too dangerous. Because they know they're not going to shut me up. I'm going to tell the truth. I don't give a fuck if they get mad at that shit or not. Because truth be told, they don't really motherfucking have no power. It's what the masses say. Because if the masses stand up to this shit and tell them, listen, we tired of this shit. We don't want motherfuckers around here homeless and suffering like this. We sick of this shit. We not putting up with this shit no more. And stand on that shit. It ain't nothing they can do. Ain't nothing they can do. Because you got to understand, when they be doing all that shit, all this politics shit, I don't even get into that shit. I ain't never voted. That shit is ridiculous to me. Because the government means to govern mental, means to govern your mind, which is mind control. No, bitch, I'm a free spirit. I can think the way I want to think. And my thing is that I'm going to always dig until I find the fucking truth and what makes sense and what is logical. If that shit don't make logical sense, I'm throwing that shit out. And I knew this reality definitely didn't make logical sense because it's too much suffering for this shit to be real. It's just too much suffering. Why the fuck is it going to be real if you suffering and coming to the point of death every motherfucking second? I feel a type of way when I see a fucking animal down the street and they be rolling over animals. I feel a certain way about that. That shit bothers me. It disturbs my spirit.
Yeah.
That shit is evil. It's evil. That's why I'm saying this shit gotta change, because if y'all don't change this shit, y'all are gonna suffer with this system. I'm telling you. And when the real lights leave, this realm is going to become very dark. It's dim now because you got some real lights here, like me. I'm one of them, and it's a couple of others, but it's a handful of us. They want our ass gone, so this shit can be dark. Because you got to understand, wherever this entity goes, it destroys. Wherever it goes, it's a destroyer. It's a parasite. Nothing of beauty and light can survive around it because it feeds off of that. So it ends up destroying it. So all of this, everything that I am saying, And I know y'all was wondering where the hell I was, but I'm telling you now, that's what the fuck happened. I'm literally sitting here outdoors right now in a fucking car, and I'm literally in the damn car, and I be fucking trying to stay in the car because it's like the minute you go out, the fucking bugs swarm around you. Like, that shit is crazy.
I know.
That shit is crazy. These motherfucking mosquitoes, them bitches will be hovering around you. You be like, this shit is not real. Like,
As soon as you doze off, you
here.
try to get in your ear.
Huh?
As soon as you try to doze off, they try to get in your ear, have you smacking yourself.
Oh, no, honey. I when I be in this goddamn car, these motherfuckers, you see how big my eyes is. Them motherfuckers I be eyeing every motherfucking thing. And I make sure if I see one motherfucking thing fly, I leave and go to another car. Because usually I'm not going to spray that poison in here and I have to inhale that shit. So if I can't get it, I'll leave my stuff in here and go to another car and go in there and sleep in there, because I know it ain't been nobody in there, ain't gonna be nothing in there. Because it was one time I was in here, I woke the fuck up, I had like 4 fucking bites on me. I was like, what the fuck? I gotta carry a motherfucking bottle of alcohol, because you know when you put alcohol on the shit, it'll make the bump go away and stop the itching. And then usually go away the next day. But when an ant bites your motherfucking ass, that bite is not going away just like that. It takes a while for that shit to go away. And they leave marks. So the mosquitoes is not the only parasites. Them ants bad as a motherfucker too. You lived in Florida, Lance, so you know them ants are fucking everywhere.
I know. And when they want to bite you, see, they will crawl up your leg, and it's like one of them gives a signal. Like, they're not just going to the first one bite you, and now you done killed that one, and you got hip to the fact that a bunch of them want to bite you. There'll be 36 of them bad boys up on your leg. And all of a sudden, it's like,
and you
they all bite.
And you stumble across a fucking red fire ant mound, and you don't get away from that shit quick, your ass, you been and went in shock, because it'd be a bunch of them motherfuckers biting you at one time.
Well, you know what? You know what? Out here, they got some ants up where I'm going to be living. You better not let them bite you. Your leg going to swell up worse than anything Florida ever seen. They got this little thing looks like a centipede, but it's much smaller. Don't let that crawl up your leg. That's going to bite you. Your leg is going to really feel it wherever it bites. Then remember that we got to wall it off when we finish everything, because you got cobras, small ones, but they don't bother you really. Then you got the black mamba. That's the most aggressive.
Oh, that's the
snake.
aggressive one.
Yeah. So you'll see, okay, where we build and where people are and where the roads are, you may see a little one that died, that ventured off. They have so much wilderness and things to eat and things to do. What I'm saying is that it's really not going to be a bother. But if you run into one, that's why going in that backyard late at night, if it's not walled off and lit up, I'm not going back there. You should never know. I'm not going back there. Nah. And you in the dark and you step on something, and this is some real country. I'm not saying there's no real country in America. You have that, but this it don't get no better than this. Where you got cobras standing up. There's a guy who has some property up there that I know, and he was walking on his own property and walking down the trail. It's all bush and nothing was built up or torn down. You know, everything's there. And this cobra got in the trail and stood up in front of him. He's like, well, let me just turn around and going back home.
You know what that means. That's a fencer position. I had it was probably 2 weeks ago. I ran into a raccoon, and she had 3 kids with her.
Oh, they ain't gonna back up then.
And that bitch was big. She was like a miniature goddamn bear. That bitch was big. And because I done lost so much weight and shit, I'm like, well, I can't risk this bitch attacking me. So I stood still, and she hissed at me, and I stood still because I know she had it, because you could hear her babies rumbling in the garbage can. So I know she was protecting them. So I stood still because I was trying to charge my computer up at this outside socket they have. And I was trying to do that, but the bitch hissed at me, and I was like, I ain't gonna go over there and fuck with her, because I want her to know I ain't here to bother her and her kids. I'm already dealing with my own shit. I ain't got time for that. So what I did, I stood still and watched, and do you know she didn't move after she hissed at me? She did not move. So I stood still, and I looked at her, and I waved my hand over to where her kids was, and she looked at me, and she walked over there to her babies, and she stood in front of them.
Wow.
And she stood up, and she just stood up and looked at me, and she let me go and charge up my phone, the computer, and I left it over there, and I left after that. So they're smart. They're not fucking stupid. The animals are smart because she knew I was telling her to go to her babies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you one thing I never told nobody in the whole planet before. I was at the last stop of the 21 route behind a hospital right near the lake where the alligators are. And I had to use the bathroom. I didn't have enough time to run into the hospital because I was in the back of the hospital, and the back door of the hospital was closed and locked. So I had to run all the way to the front. So I went over there by the dumpster, and they had this concrete thing around it. Nobody could see me. I had my toilet paper and my hand sanitizer, and I got busy, not realizing that there was a raccoon with babies behind the dumpster. And it took its head around, looked at me, and froze. Talk about running. I ran with because we had shorts as bus drivers, right? Everything was around my knees. Everything was and I was running, and I tripped and fell, bruised up my knee.
I don't blame you, because that raccoons will fuck you up.
That's right. Ass was all out, everything. Didn't clean up. I had to go somewhere.
And their claws are sharp as hell. Them raccoons your ass up. And it was a possum. And them damn possums, they ugly as shit. They scare. I don't like them. When they scare me, but they hideous.
They hideous looking. When you really see them and how they move, they stop. Their little feet moving, they stop. Oh God,
they're disgusting.
So
but she right about that about them damn bugs though, because it's weird about them because they will fucking. It's like they hunting you. Mm-hmm. They literally fucking hunt you, and that's weird. Even the animals don't even do that.
I fight with them all the time. The ones that get in.
That's why I'm saying those bugs. A lot of them. Let me tell y'all this. I had a girl over there where I was coming to where I was going over there at the botanical gardens, because I used to sit over there. For the first couple of months I was homeless.
Right.
And it was two women. It was a white woman. She came over there, and she was a little younger. She was probably in her early 30s. She came over there to me, and she was like, "Well, why are you out here?" I was like, ain't it obvious? And she was like, she was trying to give me a shelter place to call, which didn't work. But she was trying to give me, some information. I was telling her about the spiritual and how I'm being targeted by this system, by these punk motherfuckers that run this system, because they want to keep this shit going, because this system is all they got. After this system dissipates or the consciousness change the vibration of this shit, they're dead. The suffering will be over just like that. They're dead. And that's what they want to not happen. That's what they scared of. So when they push all this fear on you, it's because they scared, because they fear that their time is going to come, and it is going to come. One way or another, it's coming, because you can't escape your karma, motherfucker. You can't run from yourself. So she showed me a very interesting picture. She said that, well, I know my lineage is a little different. She said, because this picture that I have happened to me, and it's of me, and I don't want to weird you out. And I was like, well, what is it? And she showed me a motherfucking picture where she was looking in a mirror, and one of her eyes turned into a reptilian eye, and you can see the shit, and you seen her face. Now, I'm telling you, this is no cap. This bitch showed me this shit. I seen this shit. And even though I understand that it's still a holographic illusion. But nonetheless, bitch, something is up with your spirit, because mine doesn't do that. Mm-hmm. So something is up with your spirit, bitch. Something about your spirit ain't right. Because, bitch, my eye don't turn like that. So something is up with your spirit. And it was just crazy. I'm like, so this bitch she has to be from those fucking parasites. She was created by those parasites because she got the Draco eye. So she has to come from them. She have to. So she's straight parasitic, clearly. She's a whole negative entity. Because my eyes ain't never done that. The only time my eyes changed was that one time where I told y'all when me and my cousin got into that fight and she pissed me off by giving my outfit away to her fucking boyfriend's sister when me and her were supposed to go out to the club that weekend. And she gave my brand new Calvin Klein outfit to her cousin, to her boyfriend's sister. And I was so motherfucking mad at her. And then the bitch hit me and she was wrong. And after I beat her ass, she was like, bitch, do you know when me and you was fighting, do you know, bitch, I seen flames in your eyes? Yeah, bitch, I'm sure you did because I was that pissed off with you. And when she told me that, I never forgot that shit. So I knew you cannot be no goddamn human with fire in your goddamn eyes like that. So they know that they cannot try me like that. They know what type of spirit I am. They know I don't fucking play. So the best way to deal with me is to kill me off. And then it was another lady. It was an Asian lady that I came in contact to. I was writing out there. I was writing in my journal, about the matrix. Because I'm not changing my vibration off of this shit. Because this is, if you're not talking about the spiritual, you're wasting your time. Because the rest of the shit is useless. And I was talking about the spiritual, or I was writing about the spiritual. And she came over there and asked me what was I writing. And I told her, and I showed her the book, and I made illustrations and everything, and of what's really happening to the spirit, and I was making illustrations of the astral realm and everything. And she was like, do you know I listen to a lot of this stuff online? She was like, why you not on YouTube talking about this? I was like, because they want to kill me off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole purpose. They want to kill, because I'm a strong vibration, and by me giving out this knowledge that I have, they know that I don't lie, and they know that I make a lot of motherfucking sense. So I would be a fucking threat to the system. And I keep saying this over and over because it's the truth. You think if it wasn't the truth, do you think I would be homeless? If I was a stupid motherfucker and I was just a regular fucking program, I wouldn't be homeless.
You'd be in luxury.
Because a fucking drunk and a drug addict can get more help than me. And that's crazy. And they got the money to do it because they take all of the money from the taxpayers. And they pocket. Do you know a lady? I was over there in St. Anne's the other day on Tuesday when I called you, Lance. Later that day when I left there, it was a lady over there. She told me, she said, do you know that I was supposed to bend off the street? She told me, she said that it was a woman that owns a couple of businesses that's rich, and she put up and sponsor her the money to get her off the street and other people, and that she invested that money in a company or a business that she was in affiliation with. And they took the money, did not use it to help the lady get off the street. They pocketed the money, and the lady has to sue them now for what they done. So this is telling you that that taxpayers' money that they're collecting, they're just pocketing that shit, and they will give the smallest amount to these businesses to work with. Like, for instance, from the year 2000, I think it was the year 2021 to 2022, they collected trillions of dollars from the taxpayers. Trillions. Do you know I went over there into the fucking shelter place and I asked them, I said, what's y'all stipend every month? She told me only $42,000. Only $42,000. Do you know as much as many homeless people come over there, they can eat that shit up in 2 weeks. That shit ain't gonna do anything for them, and you have to travel just to get a goddamn shower. You gotta travel almost 2 fucking hours just to get there. If you going on the bus, it takes almost 2 hours just to get there, just to take a goddamn shower. And they only giving them that little bit of ass money as a budget for that place for them to aid the homeless. That shit is a fucking scam. They are straight scamming the public. They scamming them. So I'm one of the ones that I pull the curtain up on all that shit. Anything I know, I will let y'all know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, because it's getting rough.
Right. No, I'm just saying, we got to keep on getting the information out. But like I said, some offers are made to you, and we got to get you in connection. So,
Lance, I'm going to leave that up to you. You know my number. You know how to get in contact with me. I gave you my email. Now, if it so happens, because the guy over here, the Mr. Saraceno, the Italian guy, he's holding a suitcase and a bag or two of mine, because he actually brought me some new harem pants. But I can't take all of that shit with me, because I'm too fucking small to even carry this shit. That shit be hurting my goddamn back. And I'm sitting here, I can't carry all of that shit. That shit is heavy. And
well, let me just say, if you were getting ready to get on an airplane and go somewhere, as it's been offered, you'll take it.
It would be, and if I did take it, it would be for the people, because I know y'all need to hear this shit. I will only be doing it for y'all. I will only be doing it for y'all to enlighten y'all, because I know a lot of y'all want to know this shit was really motherfucking happening. I know you do, because once you know this shit, you can't go back to the bullshit no more.
Right.
You can't go back to the bullshit no more. I will only be doing it for y'all, because one thing about me, you ain't gonna be able to call me no motherfucking fraud, because I'm an open book. I tell it how it is, and I don't fucking cut no corners, and I'm not lying about shit, because if I lie about it, I have to deal with my fucking soul. You can't do that shit to a pure soul and lie about shit, especially if somebody is being compassionate. You cannot do that shit. Fucks with me. I can't do that. I'm gonna tell you, the dude I was married with, I'm gonna tell you how good I was to that motherfucker. That bitch, all that bitch had to do, and this was the agreement, he knew he had to pay the motherfucking bills, because I had already told him what I was not going to do. Right. Everything else I done. I cooked, I cleaned, I even did the motherfucking landscaping around the motherfucking house. I planted all the motherfucking plants. I even grew roses to motherfucking 9 feet tall.
Damn.
Roses in Florida. You know how fucking hard that is, as hot as it is here. Them motherfuckers will wither away quick. But because of where I placed them at, and because of how I ain't put just the eggshells, and I put the yolk in it too, because you got to understand, plants feed off of bacteria.
Right.
And I prune them after they bloom. So I had a regimen going on with them. I'm OCD, I'm meticulous as shit.
I know.
And I fucking did everything for this motherfucker. He couldn't complain about shit. But the minute I had that motherfucking spiritual awakening, because his energy wasn't right, and my soul knew that. And I also knew it too, because when I looked at that motherfucker's face and I saw how his face was hanging, and I kept saying, his face it looked like chocolate melting or something. Like, I can't explain, it just looked weird. And then when I had sex with him, which I didn't want to do, all of a sudden the motherfucker face be tighter, his shit glowing, and I be like,
because you fed him, took your energy.
Right, exactly. And I said my whole time, I said, as good as my motherfucking energy is, how the fuck did I end up with you? Out of all the motherfuckers I could have been with, I ended up with you.
Right. But also too, this is like adult, he'll get more of a blast if he's eating you. So was it just intercourse that he did?
Like to do. That's exactly what he likes to do.
That's a more direct blast. That's a more direct blast where he'll receive more. And most people don't know that. Humping on each other, you ain't gonna get it like, because he can drink you too. Huh?
I didn't even
Say it
fucking
again?
know it until you just said it, because I was wondering why he liked to do that more than anything.
Because he was getting a blast of energy. I bet you looked like he had Botox after that.
He did. Did you hear what I said earlier? I said the motherfucker looked like he had a fucking instant Botox lift. I said that earlier. I'm
Right.
like, his face, and I paid attention to that shit. Because I never forgot it. I'm like, he looked, haggard looking a little. His body didn't look like that, but the face did. And I was like, and I'm just like, but then after I did that, and when I didn't do it with him, he would get a fucking attitude.
Right. Well,
so
see,
I knew
look,
something wasn't right with that.
There's a difference here, because when a man has an orgasm, basically, it's all about his dick, all about his penis, and it up the spine into the brain. When a woman has an orgasm, it may originate from between your legs and spiral out. But if you're down there when it begins, you're catching so much of it as it spirals out. See, that's the difference.
I'm gonna be honest though. The thing with me is that I didn't really get an orgasm. Like I can tell you how many times I orgasmed out of the whole damn 6 years I was with him, and I don't even have to use all 5 of my fucking fingers. So I'm telling you.
But you don't have to orgasm like that. He's there at the epicenter, because remember,
he's feeding off of it.
Right, because see, it's not only just because of down there. Remember, the chakras coming up the spine, right to your brain. So whatever you had to give, he's gonna get. It's like scraping the plate clean. So even if you didn't give him an orgasm,
I seen that shit in his face. That bitch face was glowing the next day, and it was tighter. I was like, how the fuck he look like that? After that, like, it didn't make sense to me, but I remember that shit, because eventually I was gonna put that shit together. And now why you think I call the motherfucker an icon?
That's right.
That I know what the fuck he was. I want no damn fool. And when they asked me, why did you stay with him if you knew he was an icon? Well, I'm telling you, because my whole fucking experience was orchestrated. I already told you that I never had my own shit since I was here the whole fucking 40 years. Never.
Right.
Ever. And they made it like that. They did it on purpose. Because if I had to stay with somebody, they know that I have enough energy to basically have my own experience without nobody. They know that already. That's why money was created. So you couldn't do that. Why you think they killed that girl, Shanquilla Robinson? They did that shit on purpose to her, because she started fucking forming her own reality with her own money. And when she started doing that, she had a positive vibration. She didn't have to depend on the system. So when she did that, because her vibration is too fucking high for the system, because she didn't need to depend on nobody to do shit for her, she had a high vibration. They had to get rid of her because she fucks up the vibration of the system. It's all about vibration. She did not have to depend on the system.
Can I say something to you? You so right, too. And then, too, I think she even knew her friends kind of had that little bit in them, but she was still trying to show them the better thing. Like you talking about, she was trying to show them music.
It was about her spirit. If you know about her story, she basically, they said she paid for the whole shit. Now,
I heard that.
Right.
And they said they went to college together. So they done went through some things.
And she probably knew a lot of them were jealous of her, but because of her spirit, she was a pure spirit.
You know how it is when we all going up. Some people careers are different. Not meaning somebody's doing better than the other. Maybe you're not where you need to be at a certain time. Everybody's career develops faster or at a certain pace. You know what I'm saying? So she had the abundance to do it.
I don't look at it as career, because I know it's bigger than that. It's about the spiritual. The thing with her was she was a positive spirit, and she was a pure spirit, and you could hear it in her voice. You could hear it in her voice. She had a childlike voice, and you could hear it in her voice.
People.
And basically because she was happy and she was able to control her own experience with her own energy,
there you go.
She created a positive vibration. But you can't be positive in this system because it's all ran on a low frequency. That's why I said most of the consciousness here are trapped in low frequencies. Even me, for somebody with my amount of energy and as positive as my energy is, because I'm uplifting my damn self. I'm uplifting.
Excuse me. So I just said 2. She paid for more than 3 people. For what you saying is 2. She was outnumbered. The positive was outnumbered.
Right. But they had to gang up on her because you got to understand their energy is a hell of a lot weaker than hers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just like the cops. When the cops come to you, there's 1,000 motherfuckers coming, right? Because they all low frequencies.
They cornered that. You right. They cornered that sister. Right.
It's just like a battery. It's just like a battery. They're using the law of polarity against you, basically, because it's just like polarity. When you look at a battery, it's negative and positive. The negative is always going to be a hell of a lot weaker than the positive. So they have to gang up on the positive to be a threat to the positive, because the positive is going to fucking blow your ass away just because it's positive.
But
you can't beat the light.
Let me say something too. But you're not lying, cuz two examples. The situation back to the situation with the Caucasian who she sliced the Zimbabwe brother. Took him a minute. So that lets me know right there they allies with the police, that negative energy. And then her friends who did that, they made a call to the people, her family. Then they got the freak on out of there. So they ain't get picked up for a minute.
It was all a setup on her energy.
There
because
you go. That's what I'm talking about. They was in.
Right, and that's why. See, the thing with me is, my situation is different, but they're doing the same thing to me. It's just a different situation, but it's the same thing. It's still the same thing.
Let me add one thing too. LanceScurv said earlier too, the Baker Act. That's another thing, like you said. We already know the hospital systems and police systems. They ain't using that against certain people. Only certain people. It's a lot of homeless people.
And it's about frequency. It's about how you vibrate. Either you're gonna vibrate negative or positive. It ain't no in between.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no in between. Either you're gonna be negative or positive. There is no in between. Just like the cosmos, the dark energy membrane is black and the lights are white, basically. Yellow to white. It's black or white, basically. It ain't no in between. So my thing with that is, because I understand about frequency and energy, I know exactly what's happening. They got rid of Shanquilla because Shanquilla was a positive energy, and she had a childlike spirit, which means she was pure. And because she's pure, she gives off a certain vibration. This system is ran off negative frequencies, which creates density. Because as a pure energy, you're supposed to be light. And because she was vibrating so high, being a pure spirit, she fucks with the system, just like I do. That's why they have to get rid of us, because we carry a strong vibration, and that shit fucks with their system that they created through low frequencies. I understand energy. I know how this shit works. I understand physics. I know exactly how it works. That's why they basically doing the same thing to me. They just killing me off in a different way, but it's still the same thing. That's what they doing. Y'all can easily put the damn blocks together. You know everything here is a fucking setup. Everything. It's all a goddamn setup. You vibrate too high, the motherfuckers want to get rid of you. But they want to use you while you're ignorant, because they can use you to vibrate low frequencies while you're ignorant. But the minute you become aware, they know they're ignorant, and those low frequencies, that shit stop. So then they don't have no more use for you no more then. Then they throw you out like trash. So that's what they doing. So I had to come and tell y'all that, because y'all need to know what the fuck is happening in this reality, because the more you know, the more power you have. Because all that money shit, that shit is not real power. It's the knowledge that's the power. If a motherfucker cannot feed you mentally, they ain't doing shit for you but draining you. That's it. They have to be able to feed you mentally. You are a mental being. You will never, ever be a physical being. Never. Because you weren't created like that. And don't listen to a motherfucker when they say that they God. That's a goddamn lie. Because energy cannot be created. They cannot create energy. Because if they could create energy, why the fuck do they got to go so hard to program you? If they can create energy, you should just already come out the way they want you to be. Why need the programming? That's telling you right there. They cannot create energy. Energy cannot be created. And it can't really be destroyed in a literal sense, because if the consciousness does be destroyed and it fizzle out, it'll just break apart and become subatomic particles and molecules. But even though that consciousness will no longer be itself anymore, the after effect of, or the outer parts of that consciousness will still be energy, and they'll still go on and bind with other molecules to form another consciousness. But you just won't be that particular consciousness that you were anymore. Because you will basically break down and you will basically lose your outer parts, like how a star goes into supernovae form once it has spent its outer hydrogen. It's the same thing. So it can't be destroyed in that sense. It just breaks down into smaller particles and molecules. But it can be destroyed as in your consciousness that you once remember will never be anymore. You will never, ever remember that of yourself anymore, because you have basically broken down all of your consciousness through programming. And because you can't get that programming once you go back to the star space, you're going to fucking vibrate crazy, and you're going to make your own shit break apart just through vibration alone, because you can't get that programming anymore. And that's what they're doing. That's why they go so hard to program you when you get here. That shit is a setup. So I just be trying to tell people, like, you come into this shit, you need to be fully aware. Even if you come in here ignorant, be at least try to get to the point where you are at awareness, because you need to be aware of what the fuck is going on and understand that this whole experience that you came into, this creation came after you. You were primordial. You existed before creation and exist after creation. So if you existed before and after, and creation came in between, what the fuck is creation? Creation would be limbo, because you already existed before creation, and you somehow got manipulated to go into creation. And when you leave creation, when you die, you fucking still exist as energy after creation. So creation didn't even really serve a purpose, because you still have to basically be aware of yourself as you were before creation when you die. So creation don't really serve a point. It doesn't serve a purpose, but they make you vibrate out your soul energy. That's it. They make you have some temporary bullshit experiences that you got to delete anyway. Because you can't go back to the void with that. Because your ass ain't eating no motherfucking food and chocolate cake when your ass go to sleep. And you ain't pissing and shitting when you go to sleep neither. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I mean, you got to think about it. Because when you're supposed to really be, you're supposed to try to be lucid in your dream state, because that's how they manipulate you to come here. You remember I told you earlier that I seen the consciousness come to me with a reality playing in this bubble. I seen this shit come to me, and I'm like, this is how they get you. Because when you come in those dreams and you ain't aware of yourself, it'll appear real to you in the dream state. And that's how they get your ass to come into density. By making a fucking reality in their bubble and making it appear nice and sweet, and then lure your ass into density. And then when you get here and you incarnate into a fucking body, you dense, because then once you incarnate into the body, you trapped in those low frequencies. And so when you get ready to leave here and you start realizing it's a whole bunch of goddamn suffering here and torture and pain here, because nobody want to experience no goddamn headache. Who the fuck want to experience that?
Right.
Like, that shit is crazy. And nobody want to experience that. So at some point, you're going to have to start to question yourself, why the fuck am I experiencing this shit? And once you start to do that, then you start to go down the spiritual path, because then you'll start to understand how the fuck you got here. Because that's your whole purpose. You supposed to your whole purpose here is to understand and know who God is. God is not a motherfucker outside of you. That's a bitch trying to manipulate you. God is within you. You have your own fucking space or dimension. And Lance, you remember I told you, I said, you have your own space or dimension to where you can create reality within your own bubble. You remember I told you that?
Yep.
And remember, I just told you in this show that I've seen the consciousness come to me with a reality playing in a spherical shape, which is the consciousness. I've seen that shit come to me in a dream state. I've seen it. And do you know every night they be attacking me with dreams? And you know what I tell them in my dreams? I tell them a lot of the times, sometimes I'll let them do the little bullshit dream and I'll pay that shit no mind, wake up and turn that shit off and go right back to sleep. But sometimes I'll tell them in the dream, but you can't tell me what the fuck to do. I'm a sovereign spirit. Who the fuck are you? You ain't even supposed to be in my space right now. And they leave because they know you're aware of yourself.
Once you're aware, it's like no more.
Mm-hmm. That's how aware you got to be. In order, you got to be aware in that dream state. If you're not aware in that dream state, your ass is gonna come back here and reincarnate in the wheel of samsara. And if you know what the wheel of samsara means, it means the wheel of sorrows, pain, suffering, torture. Because that's basically what this shit is.
And you mentioned your meditation. You know, you're grounding, especially in the grass and all that stuff. We definitely got to hop on that way before this, like you said, the dream state. So you can get to the dream state.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of
people don't get to the dream state.
Before the time runs out, we got about maybe 14 minutes before this ends. But you can hang up and call again. But for the people who are here, we got like 10 other people other than myself and Denina. Anybody want to add their voice to the program before it cuts off? Because I don't know if it cuts off, maybe some may not come back on. But you can always call back in. But does anybody want to have anything to say that may be there and the time runs out and you're like, oh man, I didn't have a chance to say, because there's a whole lot of people here. So I just wanted to give everybody an even chance.
Well, I'm going to shout you out right now, D. We definitely appreciate your strength, your wisdom, and your observation. Like I said, we're going to get all the information, logistics, so we can, like I say, break bread. Cause we all got to look out for each other.
Well, I do appreciate that, and I just want y'all to know that I was not lying. The reason why y'all ain't heard from me, because I told Lance, I said that, I told Lance this shit was coming. I told him that. And I was 100% correct.
Wasn't I jumping for joy when you called?
I was wondering where you went.
Who is it speaking?
Oyala?
Yeah, I still yelling.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, honey. Girl, trust me. When I told Lance this, I told him, because I'm a very strong personality, and you saw, if you was paying attention to those shows earlier that I did with him, they basically interrupted all of them. And I knew that I knew this shit was gonna happen. I already knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. So I was already prepared for it. Because I knew it was gonna happen. Now I'm gonna be honest though, I didn't think I was gonna fucking stay here no damn 7 months. I've been out here since October the fucking 11th. I didn't think I would make it this long. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see that coming. I don't know how the fuck I did it. I don't know how my soul gave me the strength, because since I've been out here, I've been still collecting information. I've still been feeding my consciousness mentally. Even still. Today, I went over the Anunnaki story today. So I ain't just sitting out here bullshitting. I fucking analyze and observe fucking everything. I'm literally a fucking supercomputer. Literally. I fucking pay attention to everything. A bug cannot fly past me without me seeing it. So when you say you were wondering what happened to me, that's exactly what happened. My ass was out here scraping and motherfucking scrambling and having the cops called on my ass every minute, and I have to cuss the cops the fuck out because I have to tell them, like, don't be fucking treating me like I'm no goddamn bum motherfucker and I'm smarter than you will ever be. Who the fuck you think you talking to? So I really do appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for remembering me. That touched me.
Oh, we can't forget you. What you talking about?
That did touch me because, you know, most will think you crazy when you talk like this, but they think you crazy, but it's actually them who's crazy to actually think this shit is real when this shit is feeding off your soul energy and killing you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now anybody that sits here and Lance, please make sure you give her my email.
Oh yeah.
Because
for everybody.
The fact that she, yes, everybody who is familiar with me.
Right.
I think it's Master Glam?
Yeah.
Her too.
Okay.
Because if y'all are familiar with me like that, definitely give it to her. If y'all are familiar with me like that, then y'all know I ain't bullshitting you with this knowledge. Because it takes a certain type of soul to intake this shit. Because it's too high vibrational, and if your spirit is not at a certain vibration, your shit will combust. You can't deal with that shit. Because the programming is that God shit. And that God shit is the barrier that stops you from intaking this shit.
Right.
That shit is it's a mental blocker. Because it basically makes you tap out of yourself and not have faith in yourself and have faith in something else that don't give a fuck about you. Basically. So you are a sovereign being, period. Ain't nobody got no motherfucking rule over you. And ain't nobody, that God that they serve, he might have created them funky ass bodies, but them bitches smell like death. Them shit smell just like death. And I'm going to tell you, a true creator does not create flawed. This creation that they created is flawed. A true creator creates flawless. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a perfect example before y'all go. When I cook, there's no flaws in my shit. And if it is, I throw that shit away. Because I ain't satisfied. That shit has to be perfect. That means the smell has to be on point. It has to be presentable. It has to look a certain way. And it has to taste a certain way. So that food that I prepare is a flawless creation if it meets all of those standards. Basically. Now, when you come into this bullshit, this shit got many flaws. Your avatar carrying around shit and piss, that's a flaw. And then if you don't get this shit, your soul energy, the bitch smell like a walking cadaver. That's another fucking flaw. And then when you sit here and walk somewhere, the goddamn ass stink, that's another goddamn flaw. Bugs biting you all over the place. Who the fuck want to experience that? This shit is completely flawed. So clearly, this is not a creator. This is a scammer and a manipulator. Straight up.
This
and you see,
that I put your email in the Telegram group room, the LanceScurvLive. So it's there.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay. Well, y'all know my situation. If for some reason, I'm gonna try to keep in contact with Lance, as much as I can. But if I go out of this bitch and Lance is not able to contact me no more, y'all know I done left this realm.
I'm gonna keep on you, because
I'm telling, because I'm very close. Cause the day I was standing there, and do you know I'm on 3 motherfucking shelter waiting list? 3,
that's
not
crazy.
1, 3.
They'll
And
move fast for who they want to move.
I told you they only help the drug addicts, the fucking drunk, and the fucking mentally unstable. The cops came and told me this shit numerous times. So that's telling you the system does not help positive vibrations because the system only aids the ones that have a negative vibration because the system is ran on that.
Right.
So y'all know my situation. Y'all know that I come and tell that shit exactly how it is. Lance got my number. He is free to give it to y'all. He has my email. If I can't contact you that way, he can give y'all my email so y'all will know what's up.
I'm going to get it out there. I'm going to send it to some direct. We can share it to those who are harder to get to, but definitely. And the email is in, Quantum Sensei 1982.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
so
email, yeah. Because Lance, a lot of the times when I used to get those books, I read them motherfuckers and I break them bitches down because I know the spiritual. Now I can see the unseen. I'm so shocked with that shit. I can even discern a part of that shit that they ain't saying because the shit don't make sense when you think of shit in terms of energy. It ain't making logical sense. So I know when they lying. It's a lot of other shit I want to tell y'all, but it's hard for me because I got to formulate my ideas. I got to write that shit down. I got to go over certain things and link everything together that is on that topic point. I can't do that shit like this. I can't do it. The only way I could do this is to freestyle it. That's it. Because I can't sit down and I want to write in my journal so goddamn bad because they done stole my goddamn journal. I had a thick ass journal. I had wrote and illustrated half of the shit. And when they stole my damn suitcase, they stole everything out of that shit. Stole my drawers. I had to go and fucking get new underwear, socks. They done stole my pants. They done stole my goddamn lotions, my soap. They stole all of this shit out of there. I was like, goddamn, you could have left me something. They took the whole goddamn suitcase. Well, it's rough out here. Trust me. Now I know what this shit feel like. That's why I'm slowly but for surely I'm not eating on purpose because I want the suffering to stop. Because this shit is ridiculous. No spirit should have to suffer like this, especially if you a good spirit and you got good energy and you a talented spirit. That shit is crazy. If y'all listen to that girl Lucid Living TV, she say the same. Her approach is a little different from mine, but what me and her do have in common when she says, I should not be experiencing this. I have too much knowledge and I know too much to be experiencing this shit. Me and her basically sound the exact same. So me and her are basically going through the same shit. Same shit. Because they trying to get rid of her too. But the difference between me and her is she actually signed with the devil and I didn't. She broke her MK Ultra and she came out of that shit. I ain't never signed with it because bitch, you not controlling me. I'm not letting you fucking do no shit like that to me and having me doing no filthy shit like that. You know what those celebrities be doing behind those parties? They be letting people shit on them, piss on them. They be fucking taking baby embryos and shit, putting them in jars. They do all type of crazy shit at them parties, having all them motherfucking orgies. And do you know, let me give y'all this one cue before y'all go. Do you know that when you have sex with a motherfucker, a lot of those celebrities got demonic entities living with them? When they get a sexually transmitted disease, that's not a disease. That is a fucking living negative entity living within their field of energy. That's what it is. It's not a dis-ease. You got to cut the human shit off and look at it energetically. That's why that disease doesn't die. Like syphilis, AIDS, herpes, they are living fucking negative entities that is living in your field of energy, eating at your fucking coat of awareness.
Wow.
I'm telling you what that shit is. Now, Lance, you know I was dead ass serious about that shit when I kept saying about I don't like to have sex. And then you seen what I told you about the dude I was with, how that motherfucker face turned completely different after he had, and you even finished it when you said, oh, they like to eat you. Right, because that's what he liked to do. And then when I sat up there and I looked at that motherfucker face, I was like, this motherfucker look like he got an instant goddamn Botox left.
Yeah.
So I knew something wasn't right about that shit. So you hit that shit on the head.
You know, I know a little bit about that stuff.
This conference has reached its maximum duration and will end in 1 minute.
Oh, so we gotta go. Well, Lance,
Yeah.
definitely make sure that they got my contact. And
You can call back if you want. You can call back if you want, because it cuts at 5 hours, and we're already for an hour. So if you want to continue on, I'm going to check on Mrs. Scurv, but you can just hang up and call right back.
Well, if everybody leaving, what's the point of me calling back?
That's true. Sonda ain't going to leave. But anyway, it's going to cut off. But I'm going to get all the information out to everybody.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk to you later on today, because right now for me it's 4:58. I got to get up in like 2 hours and hit this electrical spot. So I got to exchange some wires. So we're going to talk today, and hopefully soon as a day or two, we can do a little more. All right?
Okay. We'll do.
All right. All right. Bye. Good night, everybody. If you want to call back, you'll call back. But I know you're going to get your rest, sweetheart. So we'll